after last session, so it's been a while.
Fair enough.
Let's see. I'm immune to diseases.
Oh,
By the way,
yeah, by the
well-
way, I have this other thing.
By the way, yeah. Also, I'm really good at jumping now. Like, really good at jumping.
Nice.
Like, I can use a key point to give myself plus 20 on making a jump check. And I can make vertical and horizontal jumps from standing still. It always counts as if I'm having a running start.
Sweet.
So,
You gotta jump a lot. You're a
yeah.
guy.
Oh shit, sweet flips.
Even more sweet flips.
See, now you got to carry me around so you can springboard me up and I can like climb up on shit.
Like a giant Yoda on your back.
Yeah.
That would just look so fucking
Sweaty
awkward
you
because
are.
you're so tall. And I'm
Sweaty you
so
are.
not.
He's lanky though.
I'm like 5'8", and you're like 6 something.
Yeah, but he's lanky. I think like he weighs as much as you, even though he's 6. She.
Oh boy. Okay. Zuzu, what'd you get?
Nice.
Very much worth
That means
it.
you'll be able to just walk in and just big dick a bunch of ghosts more times.
Yep. She also got level 3 spells, right? Still, they're very powerful spells.
Yeah, you're still at the upper echelon, like third level spells are where they start to get like real tasty.
Yep.
Nice. That's like a what? That's 4d8, right?
Yeah, that's a big heal.
I think it's 3d6. I don't think you add your level to channels. That would be so awesome.
Animate Dead is not part of the healing domain.
Don't clerics have 2 domains?
I think it might be a spell that you just get as a cleric.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one of the main cleric builds is basically a necromancer.
Which I don't think would be okay with your god.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Well, that's not true. Like, defending bone literally reanimates a fucking bone to spin around me and protect and give me DR to like bludgeoning or whatever, or to physical attacks. And I looked it up. I was like, well, I want this spell, but like Pharasma would not be cool with this. It's a Pharasmic spell. Like, it was invented by Pharasmic like people. So,
well, I think so much as long
It's-
as you don't like literally raise the dead, that you're fine with Pharasma.
well, it doesn't make sense to me because like you're supposed to respect dead bodies, but like this is a spell of the Church of Pharasma, which is literally like using a dead body as a shield. So I'm not really sure how it works within the church, but like it wouldn't surprise me if that was something you could do. Speak with dead, yeah.
That is good.
Totes worth.
well, I mean, you have
Especially
access
for
to
me.
it all the time. You just have to. It's not a thing you'd want to have.
Yeah.
Like
Prepared every day. Yeah.
Well, it
You-
might
So,
be just because you
super
could drop it.
In terms
drop it
of
for a heal.
Pharasma and Necromancy, her clerics are allowed to use what are called white necromancy spells. Yep.
Okay. It's like a white lie.
So basically, as long as it doesn't defile a corpse, you're good.
Such as using it as a shield.
You could theoretically be using an animal bone. Or a bone
okay.
that was found on the
Fuck the
ground
animals.
somewhere and you don't know if it belongs to a corpse. I assume that's a gray area.
This is why I eat steak all the time in this game, because
Or if you
I've always got
killed an
that T-bone
undead
ready.
and you're fighting off other undead, I assume you could use the bone to defend yourself and then bury it later.
Yeah.
Smitty, what you're saying is you are literally going to be protected by your past meals.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just
he
got,
just
like-
keeps all his
like-
ham bones. He's just
No,
got
he
a
just
sack
has
of
the
them around
T-bones
his
from his
waist, and you guys are
T-bone
like,
steaks.
why do you keep those? He's like, you'll see. Don't worry. Someday.
He animates all of them in one round, and he's just surrounded like by the bone shield from fucking WoW.
If somebody asked him that question, I would just sign like they're for soup.
Why would you
You're
hear
do
not
you
that?
have
allowed
to
to
keep
steal
those? They
my-
smell awful.
My little circlet.
It's fucking cool, man. A necromage of the White Path embraces the knowledge that true necromancy involves tapping the powers of life as well as death and unlife. White Path necromages study the mysterious connection between life and death, but do not walk the same evil paths as traditional necromages. Instead, White Path necromages honor the dead and seek to aid the living through their necromantic magic. They've gained a deep and profound understanding of life's eternal cycle, which makes them potent healers as well as powerful spellcasters.
They're basically necromancers from Diablo.
Yeah.
Good guy
Yeah.
necromancers.
Except that necromancer could have a fucking army of skeletons.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
if
and
it was
white
an army of skeletons
necromancers-
raised to defend the innocent,
It says when white necromancers create undead, it loses the evil descriptor.
Oh,
Oh,
weird.
for the
So-
turn of turning. For the purpose of turning, I bet. Or not turning, but other stuff.
I think for the purpose of
detection
and
and
detection and
things that specifically
spells
damage
that
evil.
target evil, protection from evil, things like that.
Zuzu, I would say that one you might want. I don't know how Pharasma stands with it, but Bestow Curse can be really badass. It's what was one you were looking at, yeah. Because you get like 3 different effects you can choose from, and they're all, fairly
Well, it's actually not
devastating.
even limited to that, because it's Bestow Curse talks about how you can do a curse of your own choosing as long as it doesn't exceed the power of the effects listed. So basically, within the discernation of the DM, like you can kind of come up with whatever curse you want.
Hmm.
But white necromancers are really cool, I think. Because if you read the
Yeah, I
other,
like that
read the
idea.
other portion, it says that white necromancer gains no specific control over undead created using white necromancy, although he may ask the undead to provide some service or to otherwise assist him. So he's like
I love
requesting
that.
his undead to do things.
I love
That
that.
actually totally makes sense with Pharasma though, because like you're not like raising the corpse against its will. You're like literally bringing it back
You're
to
not
death, from the dead.
enslaving a
Yeah.
corpse. You're literally like bringing back the consciousness
for
of
a
this,
short period of
basically a
time.
ghost, sort of like an echo of a ghost. Be like, please help me fucking punch this goblin or whatever the fuck they have to do. Yeah, that's
Right.
cool. I like that.
So yeah, hopefully that shines some clarity on how there can be necromancy spells that are totally allowed for Pharasman clerics. Because stuff like Speak with Dead is a necromancy as well, and that's totally fine. Okay, so if everybody is feeling shared and settled, let's talk briefly about the retcon that I had to make. So when
We're
reading through
level
the
20 now.
When reading through the PDF, I found a whole bunch of stuff related to the trial that was after the final boss of this chapter. I don't know why it was buried there, but it was. And so, I don't know if you guys read my text, but basically the retcon is that you signed up to defend the beast. You already agreed to that. But your investigation here in Hergstag, you need to gather up your evidence and you need to go present your findings in court tomorrow, which is a slight difference from what you thought you were going to do, which was like visit all the places and then go back. So hopefully that's not too confusing to everybody, but basically we'll go summarize Hergstag and then you guys can journey back to Lepidstadt and you you guys will go present your shit at court, and it'll be fun.
But I mean, this is only like we've only got the evidence of like one of his technical crimes, right? Like,
Correct. The trial is, and one of the things Gustav would have explained to you if I had known this information, is that the trial, while the beast is accused of many crimes, the prosecution's only focusing on 3, and those 3 will be split up among the next 3 days. So you're at day 1 of 4, basically. Tomorrow will be the first, the first day of trial happened today while you guys were in Hergstag, and it's basically like preliminary evidence and all the formalities that occur before we start calling witnesses. Tomorrow will be the prosecution talking about Hergstag and cross-examining those witnesses from Hergstag. So that's why you need to present your evidence. And the day after that will be Morast, and the day after that will be the sanctuary that burned down.
Okay, so instead of like you have 3 days to go check out the stuff, then come to the one trial, there's going to be several hearings after each visit.
Yeah. Well,
And
the trial is marching on whether you go or not, and so you guys are basically late to the party, right? So you're trying to rush out there and investigate and find as much as you can, and then come back. So there may be forced marches. You might end up not getting a full night's rest. You might end up fatigued. These are all things that we will have to explore together.
The other thing that is possible is that depending on the evidence we present, we may be able to suggest recesses for periods of time, which could extend how much time we have.
Potentially.
Potentially. Like, whether or not that would work is up to the judge, ultimately, because that's who decides recesses. But,
So-
depending on the strength of the evidence
we do have the judge in our pocket. Technically speaking.
Well,
She's-
I don't know if
she's
she.
not.
I wouldn't count on that. I guess I would say.
She
I'm
has
just
to
saying we
keep
got
up
there.
She has to
appearances.
be impartial, regardless of our relationship, I would think.
I mean,
But
she
just
did
let me-
ask you to investigate on the beast's behalf.
Yeah.
So you can surmise that she probably is going to agree with you if you have strong enough evidence. But
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to vote with you if it seems like everybody else is against you.
Yeah.
But that
Seems
something-
like she's like, wink, wink, nod, nod. Something's fishy here. I need you to convince
everyone else.
myself and mostly everybody else.
But like that's something to keep in mind as you guys present evidence, because Bleak can't talk, so I'm not gonna be good. But like when you're in the courtroom having that role play out, like keep in mind that how strongly and emotionally you present evidence may give us more time.
Okay.
And it would be my suggestion to you guys to figure out kind of how you want to do testifying, because you're basically going to be called to witness for the defense, and you're going to testify on the defense's behalf and present your evidence. So it's probably going to be like one of you.
Okay.
That one is not
it.
me.
So you might want to pick a diplomatic person to
Yeah.
make that call.
I feel like the diplomatic person should do it. I'm more than happy like to do the RP side of it. But I don't have the highest diplomacy score.
Right.
So I feel like maybe this is like a Zoo or Zoo, you're our diplomacy person,
I would
right?
say Zoo, because not only is she charismatic and has the diplomacy role, obviously we can pass whatever we need her to say or like the evidence we are presenting to her and she can present it. But it's also the fact that she, being a priestess of Pharasma, might have a little bit of saying to say that this thing isn't particularly evil. Kind of like if
Yeah.
you were up there, but she's also got the diplomacy to back it up.
Potentially.
How much diplomacy do you have? Yeah. 9 or something?
I was definitely thinking that Havelock fit the role of the cross-examiner, for sure.
Oh, there's different roles.
Well, I assume that you guys are going to want to question the prosecution's witnesses.
Okay, I thought one person had to be like nominated to do all of the courtroom stuff.
No.
Oh
I
man,
think,
your
Okay.
scrutinous gaze with the fucking
yeah.
Dude,
oh man.
discern
perfect.
lies, dog.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll do that part. Also, I was waiting for you guys to get to my character so that I could pretend that I thought I got the ability to discern pies, but it didn't happen.
Is that like the adventure zone in that item they had that changes spells
Oh, I love that.
by one letter?
Yeah,
They
you're
only
allowed
used it
to.
once. I'm so sad.
Yeah, I know. It's such a they forget about their items constantly in that fucking
In
show.
fairness.
Like they'll
I mean
In
that's just a
fairness,
constant
it was on
D&D.
Merle. It was on Merle.
Yeah,
of all
Yeah,
people.
but I mean
Like,
in
he
D&D
doesn't
that
know
just happens
anything.
all the time. Like
yeah.
oftentimes you'll find yourself in a situation where you're like out of options and you'll go, shit, well what items do I have? And then you'll start reading through
Right.
the list and like, shit, I don't even remember any of
Yeah.
these things.
Fuck, I fucking have this thing.
I try
Yeah,
to
but that's
refresh
that's
before
such a
every
cool
game just so
idea.
I can
Like,
remember.
yeah, I don't do it every game, but most games.
Well, we
Fuck
already know
through.
you're capable of discerning privies.
I'm very capable of discerning privies.
And Turtle Sheaths.
Very, very high. Yeah, I'm the cross-examiner, no question. I have, really
Okay.
high
Someday.
sense motive.
Someday, with all of our powers combined, we'll get to the bottom of this
You're
fucking
going
wood
to-
menu mystery.
Basically, be the like his co-counsel.
Yes. You guys are the
You're
assistants.
going
in
to be
defense.
the
Ooh.
like the real attorney. You guys
That's
will be
fancy.
like double attorneys. You and what's his dick?
Exactly.
Havelock and Xanthem. Attorneys
So-
at flaw.
Yeah. So I made this thing for you guys up in the top right. Now you guys have
Fancy.
tokens that you can use on the world map to do your token rolls instead of littering, 5 Xenicises across Ustalav. I mean, Plea did it too. Everybody has moved a token at some point to roll on the world map, and they.
I've never done that.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so we left off in Hergstag, specifically in an abandoned house that was walled up. And in good
Saw
shape.
that, Smitty. Saw that.
You had just got done investigating the little girl's room, and it does appear that she died here. There was a chair, and the window didn't look like it had been forcibly opened. It also doesn't look easy to climb up here.
Yeah, I
Didn't
seem
we
to
establish
recall-
I have in my notes that we went to the graveyard and found
Yeah, we
2
found those
graves.
Yes. I think
And
you
then-
decided to spend the night in this house, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought we slept in the church, but we returned all the bodies to their graves.
You did. I
Mm.
remember this.
I also remember that wonderful tidbit, the fact that now all those children are full-blown raids now.
Yeah.
We kind of fucked that up.
Yeah, no, we kind of...
Well, I'm not
kinda
so sure
fudged
you
that
would have
one, Rick.
fared all that well against all of them and then Brother Swarm.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
had
Plea
plenty
has-
It's a
more
learning experience.
Plea had Condrain, right? Somebody had Condrain.
Not me.
Me.
Okay.
Havelock did.
Oh, you do too?
Or does.
Yeah, I still do as well.
Yeah, you guys have and it's not damage. Damage. It's like
It's
drain.
drain.
It's
gone.
drain. It's
So
that shit
gotta
There
read.
gone.
until cured by a lovely cleric.
She gone.
Oh.
Wait, does
Oh.
Xanthem have
Xenesis.
restoration now?
Oh!
Now.
I think so.
Dang it.
I believe restoration's a level 3 spell.
It is the level 4 spell,
It's level
actually.
4. Oh,
Womp
Okay.
womp.
So you
quick,
guys
we
have to
need
pay
the
for that.
Caterpillar Man.
No,
removes
restoration.
Nah, it's gotta
damage.
be-
Do it.
Yeah, you gotta do at least normal restoration.
The other
Restoration
thing with
greater can put
restoration
limbs
is it
back up.
requires diamond dust.
100 gold.
yeah.
But it removes all of it, so you only have to pay for the spell once.
I'm sure we can get it done at the city.
If it's
Maybe.
not at that
Or
city, it's
Hergstag or
nowhere.
whatever.
I mean, a level 4 cleric spell would require a level 6 cleric, right? That's a pretty powerful cleric.
It's a major city, though, and it's like the capital.
It's the capital of Violent. I mean, it's the capital of Violent, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's swimming with very powerful clerics. You could try.
Oh, maybe find a scroll then,
Maybe.
I
complete with a rail of cocaine diamond.
mean, I would
dust.
imagine you could find one.
Well, I
But,
mean,
yeah,
especially
we'll-
what with this trial going on and the like supposedly like 100,000 people just hanging out waiting to watch a dude burn because
Yeah.
that's
You have to remember
entertainment.
though that most NPCs don't end up getting that high level. That's
Right.
predominantly
Yeah.
adventurers like yourselves that end up with demigod powers.
Interesting facts about Lepidstadt. It's the largest in all of the Vineland, but it's still a small city.
Yeah.
Well,
They like to think of themselves as a big city, but it's sort of like, it's sort of like a big city in the Midwest. It's just sort of, it's
Not
big
that
for the area, but not all that impressive if you compare it to like LA. Anyway, you guys rested here. If there's anything left that you want to investigate in Hergstag, we can do that, or you can start on the road back to Lepidstadt.
I don't know if we had anything here, but I do remember that when we got back, we wanted to get information from witnesses.
Yes.
Yeah, we didn't talk to any of the witnesses.
That is correct.
But I don't think we had anything else left to do here, from what I
Okay.
recall.
Then I will move you on the new map that was requested.
Yay! I love you.
Yeah.
And I don't like this map that much because it makes it look like this is all happy grasslands that have streams in them, and it's marsh. This is like bog and marsh and just
Real
gross,
shitty.
gross travel land. Hergstag in this area is sort of more farmable, so it's a little drier. Over this area is Dipplemere Swamp, where the beast last remembers being.
So the boneyard is not a nice place to go.
you
No.
don't say.
Huh.
And, well, I can't really give you much information about Morast or Boneyard specifically unless you do Knowledge Local. But I can tell you that this area is basically all underwater.
Not so dry land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why I don't like this map, because it's all like bright greens and it makes it look like it's some kind of summer valley. And it's not. It's like gross
Well, you gotta
Florida.
cut corners somewhere if you want to get the
Throw a
effect.
filter on that
Blah.
shit and just put a grayish filter over it and make it
Leopold,
less inviting.
With that local roll, you know that Morast is sort of in the middle of Dipplemere Swamp, and it is, from what you've heard, it is mostly mud and straw huts that are up on stilts and they're connected by like wooden bridges, basically.
Oh God, it's the Deliverance.
So your travel to that area will be challenging.
Well, I'm getting flashbacks to a previous existence. Where
I don't know what you
I-
mean.
Now the fact I had to be saved by a tumor monkey.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was the druid turning into a bear, wasn't it?
No.
I don't
That
think
was-
I saved him. I saved our
Yeah.
cart.
I was pushing the cart. I slipped and fell because my nat ones in that game were just
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
And
that was
I
bad.
I also got a nat one trying to get up, and then you were like, "You're gonna start drowning here in a bit." So fucking Psycho Mara threw his
Yep.
monkey at me.
Yeah, I was busy. I had
Marky.
I think I ate like ant haul or something, like lifted the cart
did.
up,
You
and
did.
then like I couldn't get to you, so I just like sent Morky over, and he like fucking nailed his strength check.
Just
Like
lifted my
lifted
head
you.
up.
Yeah,
Yep,
all he
I
could do
remember
was
this.
yank your hair and like lift your head up out of the mud.
Yep.
Oh jeez, that game.
I-
My favorite one was you impersonating a zombie and rolling a net.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that was perfect.
I even did the like reverse burp. That
Yep.
hurts to do. That hurts, but it
Yep.
was worth it.
Also, Walker, I remeasured it, and I think it's about 18 miles total.
Yeah, I got 17, so like that seems right. Totally doable within a day.
Yep.
We don't even need horses, guys.
Although, technically you already came out here in the same day, so if you head back tonight,
Oh,
you'll be
no, we
forced
wouldn't.
marching. Well,
Yeah,
but
we
the
wouldn't.
trial starts pretty early
First
in the
thing in-
morning, so
Oh God, well, do we also take if we're fatigued? Do we still take negatives even on like diplomacy checks? You also have regular restoration, don't you?
You can't prepare that yet, though.
You have to rest before you actually level.
So,
Right.
so I'm gonna let you guys decide how you want to handle that. We're not gonna say that you rested, but maybe you like chilled
It
out
is,
in the house for a
like,
little bit.
nighttime. So
Yeah,
keep that
it's
in mind.
nighttime right now. So I'm gonna let you guys decide what you want to do. You can sleep for like 4 hours and get up in the wee hours of the morning and travel. I don't care. It's up to you.
Well, do you have lesser restoration, Xanthem?
That doesn't affect you and any of your drain.
No, not my drain, but it does remove fatigue, does it not?
I mean, so does rest.
True, but we could force march, and then the people who need it. The
Fatigue
rolls and
only
such.
affects strength and dexterity.
Oh,
So, like,
I mean, if we get to the city
And I
and
have
pass
endurance, so
out, nice.
I mean, we could do like 4 hours move and then 4 hours to rest before the trial.
Yeah, and then we'd be fully rested.
I suppose that you would know that the trial starts at 10 a.m.
So we would not.
Takes 8 hours to go 20 miles.
Yep.
Right, how many miles away is this shit?
It's like
70.
18-ish. Yep.
Okay. About 8 hours.
Yeah.
So we basically have to force march if we want to get there time for the trial.
Yes.
Dang. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean,
Oh wait, we can move 24 miles in.
so
8
what time
hours.
is it when we're done at Hergstag? As we're like making this decision?
Well, it was sundown when you fought Brother Swarm, and then you guys did some investigation, and you buried some bodies, dug some graves.
Right.
So it's probably, and this is like the equivalent of late November. So sundown's earlier. You're probably looking at, I don't know, 10 or 11 p.m.
Say probably like 10
It'll
or
take
so.
us 6 hours to get back.
So if we wake up at 4,
So we could get like 6 hours of sleep, then march
do the marching
there.
chant.
Yeah, marching chant.
Yeah.
You need a full 8 hours of rest to prepare new spells, though.
Blast.
And like the marching chant just prevents us from getting fatigue. It doesn't speed us up. So
Correct.
like
fatigue also
What if
goes
we got
away
there
if you
mid-
sleep. So
What if we got there in the middle of the trial? Like, how long does this trial last? I guess we need to be there at the beginning.
I don't think you necessarily know how long trials tend to be. I think that might be outside your experience. I mean, somebody could knowledge local, I suppose.
I think we just gotta
that.
force march it, boys. Xanthem.
Yeah, if we want to get there.
Yes, technically.
if we leave now, we'll arrive at around 4 a.m. and you guys can get like 6 hours of rest. I could also like give like Xanthem a piggy. Can I give Xanthem a piggyback ride while she sleeps? Like,
If you, yeah, but I'm gonna say that makes your Constitution checks for forced march a lot harder because you're carrying a person.
fair enough.
Can we make
You're
a
right.
cart?
No.
Can we steal a cart?
I'm
There
gonna
are
guess that in the
horses
time it's gonna
nearby.
take you to construct a cart, you probably could have just
Yeah.
slept.
To burnt the time.
I'm gonna think about it.
See, let me familiarize
Could-
myself with force march rules.
Could we find
maybe
a faster path through the marsh?
Oh, I don't trust the marsh.
You could try.
Well, I'm saying we have a fucking ranger, like.
Yes.
I thought she gets the bonuses in forests, not
But
swamps.
here, I'm gonna throw something out here. Maybe fatigue's not all that bad.
I mean, it's really
What's
not.
fatigue do?
I think that's him going, there are evil things in the swamp.
Fatigue is -2 on strength and dex checks. Like it really doesn't affect
Doesn't
us.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
for the
Like
trial.
the only thing I
You
want
can't run or
Force march.
charge.
Yeah, but like we're
I
gonna be in
don't
the
need
trial.
to.
We're gonna be in a
The
trial.
only-
The
The
thing
only
with forced
charges
march,
I'm making are against the accusers of my client.
That's right. So a forced march is any walking you do past 8 hours in a day, and any hour you do past 8, you have to make a con check, which is DC 10 plus 2 for each extra hour that you walk. And so if you fail the check, then you take 1d6 points of non-lethal. If you take any non-lethal damage, then you become fatigued.
What happens if you keep force marching?
You have
You
to
could
keep making checks
eventually
and they
pass
get
out.
harder.
Well, I'm gonna fail these con checks. Like,
But if you heal the non-lethal damage, it also eliminates the fatigue. So theoretically,
that's no
I mean,
problem.
your con checks will keep getting harder, but your cleric can theoretically keep you walking.
well, I also have 5 cure light wounds per day. I think I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I will probably be fine on my con checks. So I kind of like, because I want Zoo to be able to use her spells during the trial. I don't know if she has any spells that will help her, but like if she's testifying and like has spells that boost her diplomacy.
Someone give me a knowledge local.
Travis.
Here we go. Leopold, you hear your party talking about using spells during the trial, and you remember a bard telling you once that magic in trials is forbidden.
Yeah, that's how.
So we
that's how
don't
you
need
get-
them. So yeah, we can burn our spells and shit. I
Cool.
say we go for
What
it.
about wait? Is your discern lies and scrutinous gaze technically a spell, or is that a spell-like ability?
It's an ability.
Supernatural
An
abilities.
Inquisitor can discern lies as per the spell.
Which
Doesn't-
means
As
that
per.
if someone
don't
was
gain
casting
the
detect
spell.
magic on you, though, they would detect you using that.
That seems like it should be perfectly legal. You're telling when somebody's lying.
At a trial where you're supposed to be telling the truth.
You would think, but
One would think they would cast Zone of Truth during
So
a
here's
trial.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Leopold, with that 21, Leopold is aware that magic is forbidden in a trial, but there is always a Holy Sister of Justice available to cast things like Discern Lies and Zone of Truth at request. But she can't do
perfect.
it. She can't do it an unlimited number of times, and obviously those spells have limited duration, so you need to use them
Right.
carefully.
Yeah. That makes sense. Need a third party who can objective.
But that Holy Sister of Justice is also responsible for making sure nobody else uses magic.
Is
And
she
there's
Wait,
heavy fines
she
if you
can-
get caught.
She can cast discern lies.
Yes, and Zone of Truth.
That's
and Detect
Isn't that a
Magic.
fourth level? Isn't that a fourth level spell?
No, I don't think so.
Does she have
I knew that was
restoration?
coming around.
It's a 4th level cleric spell. She can totally cast restoration.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But
All
will
right.
she?
Yeah.
Sorry.
How does she
Jack,
feel about
you just admitted
Inquisitors?
to like a person that can.
Well,
cast
I
spells
suppose
on
you'll find out. So anyway, if you guys are setting
She's
off
the
on the
discount.
road,
Yeah, I think we force march this shit.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
so you already walked 6 hours. We determined
Yeah.
that.
So we get 2 hours free, and then only 4 hours of actual.
Yep. So
Dex.
there will be 4 con checks then. But
Oof.
let's do 2 now, and then you guys will get to about here, and you'll have a lovely encounter on the road. So give me some con checks.
Should we like do an initiative and then do them to keep track?
Sure. Everybody roll initiative.
Fucking token. God damn it.
Oh goddamn.
That's okay. We can just go with this.
Not
This order.
tokens.
It'll be Ilix, and then Leopold, and then
It
Havok,
doesn't really matter
and then
as long, yeah.
So let's just take turns here. So Walker, why don't you go first? Roll your 2 con checks.
Okay.
Oof.
Well, that wasn't good.
Ooh, yikes.
Also not good.
Oh, you're
Alright.
tired.
Are they con or are they fortitude?
They are con,
Okay.
unfortunately.
So roll my damage.
You take 5 points of non-lethal, and you are fatigued. Let's do Ilix next.
All right.
Vape.
Yikes.
Vape? Vaping?
So because of my endurance, I have a plus 4 to avoid non-lethal damage. So that's a 9 and a 14.
Okay, the first one fails, second one passes. You will take 6 points of non-lethal,
Okay.
and you are fatigued as well. So make sure you guys are writing this down, because non-lethal, it usually doesn't matter, but if you take damage on top of non-lethal, then it does. So, let's do Leopold. Pass
Ow.
and fail. That'll be 4 points of non-lethal for you, and you're also fatigued.
Hang on, I need to. The
Mr.
display driver stopped working, and now fucking Roll20 is.
That's all right. Have luck.
Oh.
Pass and a fail. 3 points of non-lethal and fatigued. Xenesis.
Not good.
Stat checks are hard. First one
I took
is
5 points of non-lethal. You said
4 for you. I think
4.
it was. Xenesis, you're going to take some damage here too. You will also take 4 points of non-lethal and fatigue. Yep, you're all tired. Well,
The good thing is that Ilix doesn't really have any usefulness in the trial, so she's just gonna kind of nap.
Right.
that's
out.
fine.
Room.
That's fine. You don't
Me and
necessarily
Alex
need
get
your
to
whole
sleep
party
as
there.
soon
You
as
could have
we
some
get-
people sleep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much you guys just have to take me and Zoo there.
Yep.
Yep, we should have just made a litter to just
Yeah,
drag
just
you
carried
guys.
us.
Zuzu, do you remember the second day we were hiking in Germany and we hiked like 11 miles? That was fatigue right there. Remember when you collapsed on the floor of the cabin and just laid there?
Yep.
You took lots of non-lethal damage and you were ready to sleep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Power
kind
bar.
of like whenever we were hiking in Colorado, except we also had a good amount of THC in our bloodstream, so I'm not sure how the two interacted.
Nice.
Some poison damage, maybe some non-lethal poison damage.
Okay, so you guys have been traveling for a couple hours now. The moon is pretty high in the sky, and it's clear tonight, although a little chilly. And you hear a commotion off in the distance. You can hear some women yelling at each other, and you hear what almost sounds like birds,
Uh-oh.
just sort of angrily squawking.
What do I see?
Can I tell what kind of birds these are?
Not from the distance you're at. They're probably a few hundred feet away.
Okay. I think we like.
Do you,
I don't know. Can we like creepily approach? I think I'm gonna elbow Ilix and I say, "Can you check it out?"
What do your elf eyes
I don't
see?
Ilix will sort of sleepily nod. And what's my light like at this point? Is it pretty dark, or do we got some moonlight, dim
I
light?
would say that you are. I had the moon phase a little while ago. It was waxing gibbous a couple days ago, So you should have a full moon, I think.
Okay. Because I can see double in dim light.
Okay.
So I will attempt to stealthily. Do you want to roll my stealth, or do you want me to?
Let's. I'm gonna pop you guys over to the world map real quick, just so you have tokens to roll with.
Okay.
Yay! Sorry, I have that other token just kind of sitting there.
No,
oh my
that's
god.
okay. Okay.
I can't see shit.
That's a pretty good roll, but unfortunately, Leopold, you find that while the light tonight is good, you can't quite discern what's going on up ahead. You think you can make out a wagon and maybe some shapes moving around it.
Wait, is this supposed to be me, or is this the map? Because the map is black for me now.
What?
Says I'm like
Oh.
over here.
Hey.
The map is not black.
Oh, it is for
I
me.
think your roll 20 is crashing, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this map doesn't have Fog of War, so that's not correct.
It's all I see. Hang on, I'm gonna reload it.
Oh yeah, your shit broke. Your shit's broken. But yeah,
You don't
Leopold,
say.
Broke, dog.
you can see
What?
Leopold can see a wagon up ahead and some figures moving near it, but they're pretty far off still.
I'm gonna
If it doesn't
sneak
work this time, I'm
around.
gonna restart all of Firefox.
I mean, my question remains unanswered, so I'm not sure how to proceed as the person nominated to address this situation.
Well, I didn't hear your question, I guess.
Do you want me to roll my stealth, or would you like to?
Oh, right. Forgot that one. I will roll it for you.
Okay, it's a +10.
Yeah, I
I have
have
a
a
question.
macro for it, actually. We're good.
Cool.
Yeah,
Actually,
what's
that
up?
makes me double check.
Why anybody using Firefox?
Anyway,
Well,
back in the game.
There we go.
So I will drop low, and I'll have a bow with an arrow knock just in case,
Okay.
because that's how I roll. And I'm going to, as quietly as possible, move closer to see if I can get a better look. And would you like me to throw a perception check your way?
Yep.
You have low light as
Yes, he does.
As an elf,
That's
too.
an excellent check. Ilix, from your vantage point, when you get a little closer and maybe you find it like a more hilly portion of the road and get topography in your favor.
I'm gonna do my best groundhog impression. Just kind of, just peek my head up over the grass and
Yep.
pop back down.
So I guess maybe you walk along the ditch for a little ways and then you climb up the edge of the road just to get a peek at what's going on. There's a wagon in the middle of the road that looks like it was being drawn by a horse, but the horse has collapsed and it looks like it might be bleeding. There are two women, one with a bow and one with an axe, and they're fending off what look like three featherless birds that are attacking the woman with an axe.
Now, can I see what kind of birds these are? Oh, I can't see shit.
Can I throw a knowledge nature
You
on?
sure can.
Let me find the.
I'm creeping up like far enough
Yeah.
away. I think that like I feel like I'm not interfering with Ilix, but like me and Ilix are fucking hunters. We are like undead hunters. I feel like Havelock feels like she's like his go-to. I mean, aside from his best friend in the world, plea.
So, Havelock, you follow Ilix after a few minutes, and you walk up behind her, and you step on an incredibly loud twig.
I was gonna say like my stealth attempts would be like I'd basically just be crouched and just like tromping along the road in my like
You
scale
have
mail.
+1. Oh,
Like,
shit.
You find the
Can
one
I
bear
also-
trap that got
You
left
actually
out on this
rolled a
road?
nat 1 on your stealth, Havelock, so
yeah,
you
that
did pretty
sounds right.
poorly.
I'm like
Oh.
I'm like rolling along the road.
I'm
Don't.
guessing that I don't need to roll perception to hear his horrible stealthiness.
No,
so...
no, you can hear him. And actually,
Nobody
the
does.
woman with the bow turns towards the ditch where you guys are, and she says, "Who goes there?" And let's just put you over on that map now.
Ooh,
Here's what's going on.
These velociraptors.
I recognize this map.
They might be. So, Ilix and Havelock, you guys will either be on the north side or the south side of the road, somewhere around here. That's up to you guys.
Ilix is the one who chooses. She's the ranger.
Testing my memory here. She from the Reisenjäger?
Yep.
Maybe.
Okay.
So, Ilix probably won't say anything, but once she sees that these featherless chickens are not something that she recognizes, she's just going to decide that, yeah, I'll shoot it.
Can I even see him from here? I think I can't even see him. Or is it enough for me to...
I think you can see them now from your vantage point. Xenesis and Leopold, you guys are going to have to decide how you approach a little
Probably
bit
straight down the
later.
road.
Yeah. I'll let you guys get to, like, here.
Balls. Rolled a 2.
Nobody in the
was
party
the
knows
exact
anything
same thing
about
I did.
these featherless birds.
I mean, I could. Once I see them, I guess I could try, but I doubt it.
Grabine from Dunland.
So I guess she notices me first.
Yeah, she doesn't see you guys because you're like down in the ditch a little ways. But she does hear you, so she aims your direction. And I had presumed that you were right behind Ilix.
Oh.
So I think you're like
I'm here.
there-ish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ilix is going to give you like a couple seconds to like make yourself known and say that, you know, we're not unfriendlies, and then she's going to drop an arrow on this closest
bird
critter
or
thing.
Person. All right. I'm gonna
Beast.
I'll exchange like a meaningful look with Ilix, and I'll jump up and I'll go, haha! It is I, Havelock, Inquisitor of Pharasma. Are you in danger?
That's amazing. Oh, there shouldn't be another one. I'm sorry.
Perhaps we ought to take a different route. You seem preoccupied.
Of course we're in danger. Look, I don't have time for this right now. And she turns around and shoots another arrow. So let's roll initiative.
I was gonna say Ilix is then gonna take a surprise shot if possible against the closest critter.
I inflicted one
that's
non-lethal on myself in a way.
I definitely had my token selected when I made that initiative roll.
So how does non-lethal, like, if you take damage, it adds to your total? Like, how's that work? How's non-lethal work?
Non-lethal is a separate pool of damage. However, if the total of non-lethal plus lethal adds up to your entire health pool, then you pass out.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you still have to take lethal damage in order to, like, be dying.
Yeah, it basically doesn't make a difference unless it's the last damage you take.
Gotcha.
Well, but you can, if you have like 25 health, but you have 20 non-lethal damage, if you take 5 lethal damage, you're gonna pass out.
I thought you'd just die. Like it's the same as.
No, you don't die because the non-lethal doesn't count towards your lethal damage. It just counts towards consciousness.
Okay.
However, if you pass out, there's a pretty good chance that whatever was hitting you is going to continue hitting you.
Yeah, whatever was trying to kill you when you passed out is probably gonna take its little throat slicer. I rolled initiative. Do you want me to roll it again?
Yeah, I don't know why those didn't add in.
I don't know why it didn't, like... That went in. Let's take that roll. It seems... The first one didn't count. We all agree, I think. Come on. Backspace when you're doing that doesn't...
Xenesis, I need a roll from you still. I think I need a roll from Ilix as well. Well, actually, I got one, but it's not in there. I will add you in.
Yeah.
I had my token selected, but it hadn't popped up with like the little circles around it.
Oh, weird.
When I rolled initiative the first time, I'm pretty sure that's... So I had to, like, click off my token, then click it again.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. I'll sort this out. Okay, there is our turn order, and there is presently a surprise round between Ilix and the Dinos.
Okay. Am I able to do a full round?
Nope, surprise
Yeah, no,
round, you can
surprise.
take one action.
One action? Okay, well, I will just try to shoot the fucker.
Just for clarity, which one are you firing at?
That one right there.
The one with full
Good to know.
health.
That's helpful, thank you.
God damn. It's just gonna be trash. I can tell it. It's gonna be a trash session for me.
Keep in mind, everyone's attack rolls and damage rolls are going to be a little bit less than everyone's used to.
Right.
This is true.
Big.
Yay is not the word I'd use.
Yeah, that's the opposite, really. We all agree.
Fuck this dog shit. Is that a thing that I could say?
Ugh, I can't get this to import properly.
We're gonna get him banned from YouTube. That kind of talk.
If PewDiePie is not banned, I don't think he's gonna get banned.
Fair point.
Okay, a 12 is gonna miss.
Well, that's it for me.
Okay, so now it'll be Leopold's turn.
Alright, I moved there. It's beyond my first range increment, but I'm still gonna have to take a shot anyway. Hang on. Where? I moved so I can't do rapid
Always
shot, but I will.
possible to move twice.
Yes, but then I can't shoot, can I? Because
No.
that would be running, wouldn't it?
Nope.
No, you can just do 2 separate move actions. You don't have to run.
But then I won't be able to attack.
Correct, but then you'll be in a better position for next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I
Bad
have this
idea.
conversation with
Please.
the Moon and Divinity every single fucking combat. It's just like, I mean, you can move into a good spot right away and not do spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then no spells. It's divinity. The spells are amazing.
I know, but like, it's better to be in a good spot and then not do anything.
Okay, I take it that's your plan, plea.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Alright, Raptor time.
Like, you don't have to
Oh,
say it
now
with
that
that
I'm-
much glee.
Now that I'm here, am I capable of discerning what the fuck these things are?
Well, you already rolled nature earlier and you failed, so... Or no, you didn't. You
Uh,
didn't. Go ahead,
yeah,
you
I
can.
just- Wait, does it need to be trained? Or can it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
All
never mind.
knowledge skills have to be trained.
I'm a trapper, but I don't have any knowledge.
You might want to get on that.
Yeah, well, next level.
I care about profit, not nature.
You'll eat this, right? That's an endangered species.
Okay.
I got my trap.
So the 3 of them need to decide who they're going to attack. I think they're going to continue attacking the lady. 2 of them will hit. The 3rd one will miss. So she will take a pretty substantial amount of bite damage. Dang.
You gonna die. It's gonna rain.
So it does appear that these creatures must have just closed range on this woman, because she looks fairly unscathed up till now. But as she is striking the raptor on her right, the ones on her left and front sink their teeth into her torso, and they take a big chunk out, and she's not looking too good.
Damn
As
you, Alfred
raptors are wont
Hitchcock.
to do.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think that skipped the lady for some reason. Okay, there we go. Now she's gonna attack. Ooh, that's a crit threat. What
Kill
the
him.
fuck? She just rolled 2 20s in a row. Okay.
Nice.
Insta death? Yes. Okay, cool.
She pins one to the ground and pulls a knife out of her pocket, slits its throat.
She gets really angry at the one in front of her that hit her, and she gives it a good smack on the top of the head. Ilix.
There's in.
Okay.
I'm going to get up here. I'm going to try to drop another deadly aim. Whoop, if I can hit the right fucking button.
Better.
And I ignore the -4 penalty now.
Nice. That is a hit. You're targeting the bottom one again?
Yep.
All right. Xenesis. You mean like cast touch spell? Yeah, you can do that. Okay, so you're holding the charge in your hand. Okay. Havelock.
I sprint up next to this lady Archer, and I pull Gabby's great sword out, and I cast Flames of the Faithful. With a touch, you cause a glowing rune to appear on a single weapon, granting that weapon the flaming property, and allowing it to cause an extra 1d6 points of fire damage on a successful hit. I also, as a swift action, activate my Judgment Justice, which grants me a +2 to hit, which causes my weapon to gain the Flaming Burst property instead, which is basically exactly like flaming, but if you get a crit, it explodes.
So yeah. You
And that's my
literally
turn.
ran up. You literally ran up. We're just like, I have the power. Just fucking pop out both your weapons
Yeah.
with what is essentially flame tongue.
It's pretty
I
sick.
think you might, if you're looking around, catch Ilix give you like a weird eye as this like fire erupts across your sword. Like, what the fuck is happening over here?
Yeah. I look at you as you do that, and I go, sorry, it only works on the weapons that I'm holding. I checked.
Carry on, good Inquisitor.
And now that I've got light, let's run away. They're distracted. All right, that's my turn. I'm done.
Okay.
Just throw the sword at them and hope that they'll be too preoccupied.
Yeah, as soon as I cast Flames of the Faithful and immediately throw the sword and turn around and run.
Take that!
Yeah.
Like a 5-year-old.
Brave, brave Sir Havelock ran away, ran away.
Okay, so you make your sword all flamey.
Yeah.
All right. She's gonna attack. That is a really good roll. All right, she's gonna do some damage to one of the beasties. Leopold.
Okay. So, gonna do a rapid fire and a up close and deadly. So that's versus AC, or touch AC, and so is the other one. And that's the damage from the up close and deadly.
Okay.
And that's versus this guy here.
Those will both be hits.
So that's 31.
Which target was it again? Sorry, I was reading.
This guy down here.
Okay. So he takes
31.
31. Oh yeah, he did.
Good. Get that grit back.
He falls over.
Nice. And they're probably like, what the fuck are these people? They're setting shit on fire! They're
Yeah.
exploding stuff!
I'm gonna take the one on top.
That is a hit and a miss. 10 points
How
of
many-
damage.
How many
Raptor
flurries do
time.
you eventually get?
I can. What do you mean? Like how many attacks per
Well,
flurry?
yeah.
I
flurry.
think at level 8 it goes up to 3 attacks.
Fucking sick.
Okay, one of them is going to attack Plea, the one on top, and the one to the right is going to attack the lady. And they're both going to bite.
Okay.
Plea, you will take 6 points of damage, and she'll take some more damage too. She is not looking too hot. She's going to swing and hit for a bit more. Ilix.
Okay, I'm going to shift forward. And going to drop another deadly aim. Another shitty fucking 5. Not much you can do whenever you roll bad.
Yep, dice are
Yeah.
cruel mistress. Cynesis. Oh.
Slowly.
I mean, you can
can
move twice.
Twice and heal her next round, yeah. No. Because you get the free touch attack that you get is the round that you cast the spell. Otherwise, you have to touch as a standard action in a later round.
Question zero. Does your channel healing? You have channel healing, right? The one that does like an AOE. Would that? Oh no, that
Channel
would heal
energy.
these, wouldn't they?
No, because she has selective channeling.
That
Oh,
only
she
works
does.
on one.
Ah,
So she can
true.
finagle it. So I mean, if she took like a 10-foot, 15-foot step back.
Okay. Have
She
luck.
looks like a tough one. She's bald. I am
That's what I
going
said about my
to
grandma.
rush over to the first one. When I say rush, I mean I just move normally. And I will swing at this boy here. Should probably have my attacks up to do that, but I'm fucking with my buffs and debuffs, and it didn't have that ready to go. Huzzah! That's an accurate. That actually
Okay.
should be a 27.
All right.
Because
You'll hit.
Yep. Hit it, and that's 14 plus 1d6 of flaming damage.
Yep.
17.
The creature shrieks as your flaming weapon slices down through its neck.
Anybody want fried chicken?
Oh god.
I wonder what these
Yeah.
would taste like.
Probably very chicken-like.
When
be
Leopold
honest.
says
Not like owl.
that, I look back at him with the most quizzical look on my face.
Leopold.
I mean, we eat stuff. It's fine. They're made of meat.
Well, this one's already cooked.
I'll just roll out the same shit again. Try that. So both retouch.
Yep, those both hit.
All right. So
Does he get
That is-
exploded?
well, it looks like 22 plus 8, so another 30.
Jesus, which one did you attack again?
One above plea there.
Squish. Plea.
I will 5 foot
Pretty
step
quickly
here.
running out of bullets now.
And flurry.
I mean, that woman's got like 3 big chunks out of her now.
That's a miss and a hit. Okay, the beastie's not looking too great. He's going to turn and attack you, plea. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes, it is.
Then you take 4 points of damage. Alright, lady's turn. And she'll swing and a miss. Ilix.
So that second one's actually a 17 because of the point blank.
Oh god, okay. Well, yeah, you crit this fucking thing. So
Nice.
Ilix just gets into position and fucking lines up a shot, and it just blows out the other side of this dinosaur's head, and it falls over.
Why are there dinosaurs?
I don't know if you know this, but dinosaurs are very much existent in the Pathfinder universe.
Well, yeah, but like in this area, I don't know. Every time I think dinosaurs, I think like tropic, somehow it's like Jurassic Park, the fronds and whatnot.
Marshes are pretty tropic.
I guess, yeah. It's
I
just
look
like
at
the
this
equivalent
lady
of like lowland
and
Germany.
yeah, I try to ascertain how fucked up she is.
She's
Well-
like, she actually kneels
Oh, shit,
down
what
and
about the
has to
horse?
hold herself up with her hand axed, and she'll say, "I'm fine."
I will tiredly prepare cure light wounds and tap her on the shoulder and go, I'm sure
Cure
you'll
light-
be feeling better in no time.
Well, I mean, you had already cast that spell, Zoo, so.
And with that, when everything settles, an older lady comes crawling out of the wagon.
I approach the older lady and bow.
Okay,
Is the
just a
horse
second.
dead?
No, the horse is actually still alive, but it's pretty messed up.
I walk over and say, I'm sure you'll be feeling better in no time.
Okay.
Cure Light Wounds is 1d8.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are able to restore their horse to health, and after a moment, it stands up and kind of whinnies happily at you.
I pet the horse.
To which the slightly bald woman near the horse will, "How did you? I don't understand. Our horse was dead."
What?
What do you
okay.
mean? What do you mean
It-
the horse was dead?
It was
I mean,
probably
you
just
saw her
dying.
wounds.
It was probably just dying, not dead.
But how did you?
I signed to my friends that perhaps these people are not aware of your magical healing abilities. You might want to start by explaining magic.
Well, I can't explain it. You'd want to talk to
I
him.
detect evil on the horse.
The horse is not evil.
Is this an undead horse? What
God
happened?
damn it.
Ilix is going to inspect the dead things and take one of their claws as a trophy for a story for later times.
You go for it, man.
I yell over to you to collect some meat. I want to try these things.
I will let you attend that to yourself, Gunslinger.
All right. Well, I'm a trapper.
I have no interest in consuming the flesh of these creatures.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not poisonous.
The
They
older
look
lady
tasty.
finishes climbing out of the wagon, and she'll say, Flitch, Starly, who are these people? And the younger woman with the crossbow is going to aim it at you, and she goes, I'm not sure, but I think they were just leaving.
I
Hold
raise an
on
eyebrow.
1 second. I look at them and I will try to sense. Oh, nice.
Dang.
Me and Polita look at each other, and without a word spoken.
You think that
Look at-
it's late at night, and they are traveling by themselves, and they are nervous of being taken advantage of or robbed or worse.
They're all ladies, yeah. I look at the lady that I healed and say, well, I suppose if you want us to leave immediately, you may do so. However, it's a cold reception for an Inquisitor of Pharasma who just came to your aid.
Yeah, the woman who got healed, she'll stand up. Her name's Flitched, by the way.
Flitch.
Flitched. She will stand up and she goes, "It's all right, Garo. They seem okay."
We are the okayest group of adventurers across the land of
Klee
Oostalab.
gives a smile and a thumbs up, and I hope this isn't horrible.
Oh God, it's like a cheesy smile. Yes,
Amazing.
amazing.
I say, don't mind Plee. He's retarded.
Klee face palms again, and the ever-growing imprint of his palm on his head is readily more apparent.
Are you just talking about like fucking Sokka? Why is there a red mark on your head?
Yep.
I'll kind of walk over to them and say, I know that we have an excellent reason for traveling so late at night. May I ask why you all are doing the same?
They the two younger sisters will both look at Garo, the older one, and she'll say, after it seems like they're having like a silent conversation with each other, and then she'll kind of turn to you guys and she'll say, well, we're supposed to testify at trial tomorrow.
Really?
What a coincidence.
As are we.
Oh.
Sort of.
Where are you from? What crime of the beast are you attesting to? I've never heard of you lot before.
Yes, we certainly have heard of them. we were looking. we were specifically told to basically seek them out. This is serendipitous. We're on our way back from Hergstag, in fact.
That's all right, dear. What crime did you say you were testifying for?
The murder of all the kids. The 6 kids.
The children of Hergstag.
The children of Hergstag.
Oh, but we're from Hergstag.
Didn't seem
Also
like
fortunate.
there were a lot of people living there when we cruised through.
Of course not, dear. We left it after we drove the beast away.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, would you mind telling us what you're planning to testify?
If you're asking for their story,
Yeah, like we'd love to hear their account of it.
yeah,
I'd love to hear your account. Would you like to force march with us?
we have a diplomacy roll here, don't we? So let me check that right quick.
I will assist
No,
Zeus, I guess.
I think the 18 is probably solid, but I want to double check
Okay.
that.
Mine was literally just a thumbs up and a really awkward smile, so please don't count it against anyone.
Yeah, I think that your calmness and your healing of their horse and sister are both enough to sway them, along with your diplomacy roll.
Yeah.
So they all suggest that they share the road with you on the way to Lepidstadt, and they'll give you the wagon to sleep in.
Excellent. Oh, that's perfect.
So the sisters will tell you their story, and we can roleplay this out, or I can exposition. It doesn't matter to me.
Up to you.
I would recommend that me and Ilix and Leopold stay awake for the whole night with the horse, because we can rest during the trial. But
Yes. I take off my scale mail and toss it in the wagon.
Okay. Okay, so the three sisters will introduce themselves, and I will add their handouts to your books here. Give me just a sec.
It's a lot of hundoots.
Ilix will set up front with the driver.
This is Garo, Flitched, and Starly Bogwater.
Bogwater.
Such fetching names
Well,
for
I did-
three fetching ladies.
You're damn right. Where is Starly? She's in here somewhere. Okay, so the ladies will tell you their story, or I guess probably just Garo would tell you her story. They all lived their entire lives in Hergstag, and they all remember the deaths of the village's children. They just sort of vanished one by one as the weeks went on. And then one day, the culprit was found. The beast of Lepidstadt boldly walked into the village carrying the body of one of the children, a young girl named Elsa. The witnesses all recall seeing the beast laughing as it carried the child's broken body. And as soon as the locals saw the beast, they set upon it with pitchforks, but try as they might, they couldn't catch it, and the beast escaped into the swamp. The innocent children that it killed continued to haunt the village, and before too long it became too much for the locals to handle, and they eventually abandoned the cursed village and left a bunch of bear traps behind in hopes that they would catch the beast.
Aha.
I look at Plea's leg. Go,
And if
I think tetanus isn't a thing.
if you would like, you can do a sense motive on their stories if you suspect that they're lying or leaving something out.
I think they'd be more leaving something out.
Oh, mother.
'Cause
This is my one job.
it really is, but it's
like
always
the
when it
one
counts,
thing.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like from when? Oh man.
You guys
So-
are all so tired that the story just lulls you to sleep.
Well, I'm okay. But like
Leopold,
I
you don't
really
think
talk-
she's leaving anything out.
Okay. Like then again, maybe what they believe, they think is the truth. I mean, like I'm thinking this to myself. Obviously, it's like we know what happened to the children. That one that he was carrying was Elsa, was it?
Yep.
That was one of the ones that was already buried. Yes. Or was that one of the?
That was one. No, Elsa was buried by the church.
Okay, so she was buried. She wasn't found with the
I think she was actually the only.
Yeah.
Oh no, there was two graves. That's right.
There was
There
two.
was
Yeah.
Karen and Elsa. Is that correct?
Karen was the one
Yeah.
that was sick.
Elsa
was
and Karen were
there,
buried in the
and-
graveyard. Alan,
yes.
Guard, and Martin, and Rachel.
Wait, what did they determine was the cause of Elsa's death?
Murder.
I get that, but there's different forms of murder. Because I mean, I think we kind of know what the beast's repertoire is. We've
The body
kinda,
was broken.
Yes.
I mean,
well,
okay.
yeah.
Shit. We didn't really I don't suppose we noticed anything about Elsa's body when we looked into the graves.
Did
We
you dig
wouldn't
open
have
the
dug
graves?
up
They
the
were
graves
buried.
under
I don't
any
think we
Did she
did.
look
Yeah,
like
we
she was
didn't.
folded in half?
Yeah, we didn't do that. Well,
You can ask them if you want.
yeah,
About cause of
I'll
death.
ask them. I'll say, I'll actually tell them, full transparency, we encountered, what is the name of that? Grand
Brother
Wraith?
Swarm.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what's it called? Like,
It's just a wraith.
okay, we encountered a different wraith when we went to Hergstag. This one wasn't one of the children at all. In my extremely learned, super fucking learned opinion, Inquisitor Pharasma, this is a wraith that created the race from the children. We have reason to believe that perhaps the beast wasn't responsible for murdering these children.
What? That's ridiculous. Don't ever say that
I
to me
know.
again.
Well, okay. I mean, I don't know that it's necessarily a coincidence, but perhaps you could shed some light and clarify this for me. How did people believe the beast killed Elsa?
Well, the creature was laughing. He was laughing at our young Elsa's body. He must have thought himself so clever walking into our village carrying her.
I don't suppose
Doesn't exactly seem like a clever move.
he might have been crying.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah,
There were no tears on his eyes. I'll tell you that much.
maybe he's incapable of crying
I don't
tears.
believe. Yes, he's a golem. He's incapable of crying, or incapable of actually having tears.
As far as we're aware.
Perhaps that's why you thought he was laughing?
I think I needed another diplomacy roll here. Because this is starting to go against like their core belief.
I'll assist
I cast
Zeus.
guidance. I'll assist Zeus also. Fuck. That's a 14. God damn it.
Do it, Zoo. Please get a 20. That's better.
Okay, so 16.
It's pretty solid. I mean, we're not trying to offend them. It's just we're trying to understand what's going on here because
Right.
we have.
You have to understand though that like pretty much everyone involved has like really high emotional states regarding these children.
Yeah, I get it.
And
True.
the beast is like,
Children died.
yeah.
That's
The beast
pretty-
is like their villain, right? So
Exactly, yeah.
he's like the closure for them, and you're threatening to
Yeah.
take that away.
He's
But-
Bin Laden.
We're offering another sense of closure here, not really like one that's more based in
I'm
the
not sure they're
fact that-
capable of thinking about that.
Yeah, and
It's not gonna feel like justice like it will seeing the beast
Yeah.
burn.
true. Well, the culprit's already dead.
Okay, so all right, so I think your diplomacy check succeeds, but I don't remember exactly what you said. So
We were basically
I-
trying to see if he was crying and trying to maybe bring the dog. Like that's why I assume you're going with Havelock, is he was like bringing the body back
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
after
I mean,
finding her dead.
perhaps that's true, but I don't see how that changes that he's almost certainly who killed her.
Could it be that... Fuck, I don't remember now what we learned about...
Maybe the
Did we
beast
learn
has some
anything?
form of conscience. Maybe he's aware of the horrible atrocity that he committed. But nevertheless, our children are still dead, and someone must answer for their murder.
Someone already has.
Yeah, but not the wrong people or person, because that's not really justice then.
Also, we did kill... When we were in Hergstag, we found Brother Grimm. That's his name?
There's
Brother Swarm.
Brother Swarm. And we eliminated that wraith, and we found the children's bodies buried in
A hidden cave of sorts
a
that was on
hidden
top of the hill.
cave atop the hill. Thank you, Leopold. Excellent.
You may want to point out that it was much too small for the beast to fit in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes. Examining this secret cave, we noticed that it was much too small for the beast's body to fit inside, and we found 4 of the remaining children's remains there. We duly restored them to the church graveyard, of course, but it does not make sense that the beast could have committed these crimes, and we found the wraith there, who attempted to take us as well. That would
Nearly
be
succeeded.
an extraordinary coincidence, in my, once again, extremely learned opinion.
Well, so what I'm going to say is that you guys kind of go back and forth arguing about this for most of the night.
Okay.
And you maintain civility like you would a political discussion at Thanksgiving. But you don't necessarily make much
That's
ground.
the opposite of civility.
You don't really make much ground towards changing their mind. But
Yeah.
you do think that they're at least listening to you, and you may have put like a little seed of doubt in there.
Okay.
Well, we have questions to ask the beast once we get there. Especially if we get there before the trial, we need to ask
If you
his
can get
opinion
there
on
before
this.
the trial, then I think that can be arranged.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might have
actually,
to question
shit.
him during the trial.
Yeah. Shit, whose fucking book is this? Do they know? Because
What?
we found it. Remember, we found a book. I don't know. It might have some significance. I'll just ask them. Didn't know it
The
had
Talden
poetry.
poetry.
Poetry, yeah. That poetry. It was in the burned house. We assume that's the beast's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They assumed it was the beast's
Okay.
house.
Oh well, yeah, true.
They burned it down.
I guess we do. Yeah.
Okay, so you're asking about the book. One
Yes.
second, let me chew. It's pretty hot, actually, so I can't like put it in my cheek to talk.
Is he eating it with a
Oh
sword?
my god, it's so hot.
Yeah, it is. Okay. None of the
Everyone knows
sisters,
potatoes are super hot.
none
Just
of the girls recognize the book.
Alright. We'll ask the beast then. Oh, I thank them for the ride.
Yeah.
I mean, because, we've been marching from Hergstag, and we haven't had sleep yet, so
Yep.
having even the slightest amount of rest is nice.
Okay, you guys end up back in Lepidstadt.
At 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's real early in the morning. So none of these sounds make sense. So, there we go.
A bunch of snoring people.
Yeah, the streets are very quiet and filled with drunk, passed out people.
I figure we should probably go to the courthouse in order to ask some questions and then try to get some sleep in,
Sure.
so we can try to formulate some stuff.
I ask for any remaining heals that my friends might have. I think I'm the only one that's taken damage.
I
mean, aside from
con
the
damage.
fatigue damage.
Yeah,
and
I've got the con damage and I've got the fatigue, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, the fatigue damage, like non-lethal, goes away as soon as you rest. So, sure. I mean, when you sleep, you'll get it back. So you're not going to be casting any spells, basically. Burn them all. Thank you. Feeling so much better now.
Okay. You guys arrive at the courthouse very early in the morning. There are still guards posted in the usual locations. Unfortunately, last time I made a mistake. Well, sort of. This entrance is the guard entrance, / judges and everybody else who's important. This takes you into the actual courthouse area where you can go into the rooms for the justice's chamber and the prosecution and the defense. This side is the public entrance that goes up to the galley that overlooks the courthouse. So you guys are probably going to want to go in through here, and then upstairs, obviously, so you can go talk to Gustav, so he can get you access to the beast.
Where in the hell is my token? Oh, okay.
I ate it.
It's been eaten.
I mixed it with my potatoes, and I just.
Oh shit, he just got 8. Damn, Nature, you scared.
I think we stagger through the door.
Yeah, no kidding.
The guards.
We made it.
The guards don't really pay you much mind, but there is a crowd of people sleeping around here. They do seem to recognize you. They let you in.
Yeah.
And then Gustav is up the stairs.
Yep, he is in the defense's chambers preparing for trial, actually.
Oh, right. He's the guy
Oh, there he
who
is.
we insulted. 'Cause
Well,
do that
we.
a lot. I consider your actions as part of the party.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're back. What did you find?
Some interesting things.
Not good stuff.
No,
Really?
no, bad, but
Good stuff for
maybe
you,
not,
maybe.
Yeah, good for the defense, bad for general purposes.
I guess we give him the Book of Tales and Poetry, and we would explain Brother Swarm. We explain
And the children.
we found that the children were in that cave. We would explain that that cave was too small for the beast.
Mhm. Well, the wraiths with Brother Swarm. Then there's we talked to the witnesses. They believe that he killed
We talked
Elsa,
to
was
some
it?
of the witnesses.
Some of the witnesses, yes. The Bogwaters.
Oh, did you ever
Fetching lasses.
Did you ever ask the witnesses about the girl who died in her house?
Fuck!
No.
I meant to.
Oh well.
God damn it.
I mean,
It makes sense that you'd forget something like that. You
Yeah,
were
'cause,
tired.
I
Your
mean-
character was legitimately exhausted.
Well,
Like,
I literally
Yeah.
wanted to ask it, but
You
people
could
were
ask
talking,
Gustav
and
if
then
you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask Goose. What am I gonna ask him though?
Well, he's
I
interviewing
guess
those
I'll-
witnesses.
okay, out of character real
Oh,
quick
okay.
though, like we were supposed to have talked to the witnesses before we went and investigated anyway, so that we'd have
Yeah.
some backstory, and we didn't get any of that. So like we can talk to him and get that backstory now.
Yep, I think so. I think that's fair.
It would make sense that the defense would have kind of been aware of most of it.
yeah. What happened to that one?
Oh, Karen. A puzzling case. Her father heard screams from upstairs, and when he went to go investigate, he found his daughter dead in her bed.
Was this before or after the hauntings began?
I'm not totally clear on the timeline of it, but presumably if they attributed it to the beast, then it must have been before.
True, but I mean, you've met the beast, you've spoken with him. He doesn't exactly seem like the type to be able to sneak into a house and kill a child without.
We can point out that it would have been impossible for him to do
Yeah,
that because
that's
the
true, we
walls were
went to the-
unscalable and
There was no evidence of anyone entering the room. Plus, the beast would never be able to fit through the window. Like at best,
He starts
could've-
furiously writing down things. He's like, "This is all very good. I'm not so sure about the cave defense, because couldn't the beast have killed them and then dropped their bodies into the cave?" They were toward the front of the
They
cave.
were Oh, so they could have been dropped.
they could have been chucked
Yeah.
in there.
Well, we do know that with the inquisitive inquisitor here, I believe it was him. He was the one who pointed out that the Brother Swarm was the one turning them into wraiths, which implies he has to kill them to do that, right?
No,
No, he can just do it to any dead body.
correct. Any
The
recently
bodies-
deceased corpse.
The bodies that we found, though, weren't like busted to smithereens, though, because I mean, we found the skeletons there. Because I mean, there really is like every time I think of the beast, there's really about only one thing he knows how to do, and that's just smash stuff.
Shit, we
And
didn't
read
really
poetry,
like.
apparently.
Well, if it is his. I keep thinking he
didn't
had
like-
like a roommate or something.
We didn't like what do you call it? Forensically like examine the children's bodies. I don't think.
You couldn't get much of their
Maybe-
skeletons. They've been dead a while.
Yeah.
They've been dead like 7 months, so.
Well, I mean, you can tell if someone dies and their bones are broken to pieces, it's not exactly going to fix themselves.
It's true.
I mean, were they smashed to pieces? Were
No.
they like broken? So they just died.
Yep.
Okay. So the bodies showed no blunt force trauma, nothing of that sort of nature.
Nope.
So that's what we explained to him then, because again, he's not magic. Well, he doesn't know spells, right?
No.
Yeah. I kind of figured, but you never know.
If you wanted to learn more about Karen, perhaps you could question the witnesses.
Where are they?
I
Do you
point
know?
out to Havelock that it is 4 in the morning.
Yeah, they are asleep.
Well, we just arrived with them.
Yeah,
Well,
you,
the bog
you may
one.
want to
Some
wait
of them.
until at least the cock crows.
Okay.
You would.
The duck.
Of course, Zoo would.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else to add to him yet. I think we have to talk to the witnesses and talk to the beast.
Oh yes. We'd like to
But
speak to him.
Gustav will point out that he thinks it's a little odd that Karen was attributed to the beast as well, since she died in her own bed, and all the other children seem to have disappeared before they died.
I don't think she was the first. Maybe at that point they started attributing everything bad that was happening to him, so they just kind of threw her in there too. I mean, the hauntings began obviously and started affecting people. Maybe maybe that was the first starting of the hauntings. And like
Yes, but unfortunately that's circumstantial at best. I can't present that as an argument.
I mean, I feel it's a pretty solid enough statement to say there's no possible way the beast could have been in that house.
I think
Without
you're
people
right
knowing.
there. I think you're right.
But yes, we need to speak to him.
Him. His name is Bart.
Oh, you want to talk to the beast?
Yes.
Bart. I assign.
That's funny because I was watching a couple YouTube videos of people playing this arc, and they named him Bruce. Anyways.
I love that.
Hello, my name's Bruce.
Well, I'm not sure if the beast sleeps, but we could go question him if you want.
I suggest to my friends that if he is asleep, perhaps we shouldn't wake him.
I will check on him for you. And so Gustav will walk out of his office, and he will disappear into this room over here. And after a short while,
To the tip of his
he will
bald head.
open the door and he will wave to you guys to come in.
I follow.
The beast is supposed
As
to be
you
chained
come
up
out,
to a
you'll
chair.
see that Ilix is passed out on the bench.
Yeah. Getting
Fair
it
enough.
while you can.
Is curled up in a ball on the bench.
Fair enough. All right,
Guards
so you
don't
guys
even
are
bug
in
her.
here with the beast, and I think probably this guard comes with you.
He's really there only for show.
I mean, yeah, and to poke the beast with a stick.
Yeah.
Beast will shove that thing up his ass.
Yeah, like a puppet.
Popsicle him.
So the beast sees you guys all come in here, but he doesn't really seem to react a whole lot. He just looks really solemn and kind of gloomy.
Well, if he looks gloomy, he apparently has feelings. That's what I take from that statement. Because, I mean, he probably at this point knows it's basically just a witch burning.
Yeah, you can probably surmise that.
Yeah. You kind of screwed. So, I'll kind of nod at him as we walk in. God, does everyone just call him Beast? Does he
Bart?
have a name
Apparently, you call him Bart.
other than Bart? Like,
Havelock
I don't
asked him his name, and
He
he
doesn't
said
know
it.
he didn't have one, and so Havelock named him Bart, and
Yep.
said, "We'll call you Bart."
okay. Well, good news, Bart. We've just come from Hergstag.
He
But-
like sits up in his chair and looks visibly upset at the mention of Hergstag.
Yeah, we spoke to witnesses about it. Apparently, they did not treat you very well.
No,
I
they
actually-
they burned house.
That was your house then. Oh, wait. And I pull out the book. I'm like, do you know who this is?
He like lurches in his chains and pulls them taut like he's trying to reach for the book. It's mine.
I mean, is he allowed to have it? I mean, it's just a book of poetry.
No, he's not allowed to have it.
I don't think it would do him any good. He's probably manacled the fuck up.
Yeah, he's
True, but
he's bound like he's got so many manacles attached to his body. It's flat out ridiculous.
yeah. I go, tell you what, Bart, I'll hold on to this, and when you're free, Bart, I'll give it back to you. Well, I mean,
I look at Bart and I say, is there something? I'm sure you haven't seen this book in months. Would you like me to read you something?
He
we're trying to calm the beast first.
Yep.
I want to see how he
Gustav
reacts.
is just like watching this unfold in total amazement.
Would you like
We've
Gustav
seen
to read
weirder.
you something? That would be entertaining for everyone.
he'll hear you say that and he'll just sort of wave his hand in refusal and he'll go, no, I think that's probably best for everyone if I just don't.
Confidence.
So what did he say when I asked if you...
Yeah, he nodded at you.
Oh, okay. I think maybe your
Should-
mic didn't activate or something.
Should you play the lute while you do this? I'll hold the book and you
Oh,
can
the
play your lute.
flute. It's a flute.
The flute.
All right,
Oh,
so
Jesus.
you read it and I'll play the flute.
Well, I don't have any. I will read the poetry. Because
I
I
will
don't know
play
what
the
they are.
flute.
It's a 1. He goes nuts. Oh no!
I didn't do
Not
good.
very good. Wait, what? Wait, whoa! I think you might have fucked up the. It's a -1. I thought you got a competency bonus.
As you
I did, but it's a
as
charisma
you
based.
are reading this poetry,
Oof.
the beast starts to become upset again. He begins quietly muttering Elsa's name, and his face tightens up, and the stitching pulls back his jaw into a grimace, making it look a bit like he is laughing.
Knew it.
Okay.
I fucking knew it.
I go, Bart, is there something wrong?
He just sort of drops his chin into his chest and just keeps saying Elsa's name with a gigantic grin on his face.
You keep saying the name Elsa. We know that was one of the children from Hergstag, but everyone seems to have different accounts as to what happened. Could you tell us your side of the story here?
I know what happened, but that's only because Ryan knows what happens and not Flea.
I think we need a diplomacy check here. Damn.
Oh, okay.
Assist me,
I
friend!
I cast guidance and I assist.
We don't need to. 20 is fine.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You had your hand over that button. You were ready.
I did. I
Yeah,
knew
he
you
was
were
so
like,
fucking ready.
I'm like, over the other screen, like, I got
That's really
it.
funny. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So now I got to think of how to explain this from his perspective.
Thank you.
Well, I lived in Tangle by Lake, and I meet Elsa. She nice girl. She good to me. But she killed by a ghost who stalk night and steal souls.
Did this ghost look like it was a cloak with eyes in it?
Yes.
Well,
And
you'll be happy to know that we've killed him.
I found Elsa's body on hill, and I took it to the villagers to try to explain, but they didn't like me. Thought I killed Elsa.
I believe
Hmm.
they must have mistaken your intentions and clearly led to all of this happening. We
Ask if
discovered.
he can cry.
Oh yeah.
What is cry?
Well, sometimes when you felt
I
sad when
cry.
you found Elsa,
Step
yeah.
on somebody's
Yeah.
foot. Somebody stepped
Oh.
on
Stop on
somebody's
Gustav's
foot.
foot.
I
Fetch an
kick,
onion.
I
Gustav's
kick
foot.
Havelock in the balls for all the times he made me hate facepalm.
Are you gonna face palm his testicles?
Good
Well,
lord.
I explain while I explain while
Non-lethal,
Flea
of course.
unarmed strikes him in the nuts.
Oh
That
god.
sometimes when people feel physical or
I force
emotional
myself
pain,
to cry.
that too.
A will save
And
to
with this-
cry. That's
and with this
amazing.
with this physical demonstration, I explained that sometimes when people feel physical or emotional pain, such as the loss of someone they like, they sometimes feel the need to cry, and we were wondering if you were capable of doing that. Because
He
we think,
gives you a very quizzical look, and he seems puzzled by the water leaking out of Havelock's face. Somebody give me let's do either a heal check, knowledge nature, or maybe knowledge arcana, because he's a golem.
I will look at his tear ducts.
Yeah, with a 21, you get close enough.
Fucking Leopold all over it.
You get close enough to his face that you notice that he really just doesn't have tear ducts. Like nobody gave them
Bothered
him
installing them.
when they stitched them together. He just has eyes in like these hodgepodge sockets that have stitching all around them.
I'm still just like pouring tears down my eyes, and I just go, he's still in beta.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I
And-
would have.
And at this point, you're
Gustav take note
interrupted.
of that.
Sorry. At this point, you're interrupted by the guard in the back of the room just sort of chorting. He just laughs.
Got a problem?
Chortling?
You're not buying this, are you?
Why wouldn't I? I haven't sensed any ill motive from him. What about you, Inquisitor?
I walk up to the guard, and I'm still just streaming fucking tears down my face, and I just look at him dead in his eyes, and I go, "You don't believe it?"
I mean, look at that thing. It's a murderous
look at
creature
him.
if ever I've saw one.
I mean, so am I technically.
And me.
I'll just kind of shake my head at
whatever.
the guard.
You all seem fine here, and the guard rolls his eyes and walks out, leaving you alone with the beast and
With Bart.
Gustav.
Good.
Prejudiced and churlish.
Well, I can't say I blame him. I mean, no offense, Bart, but you are rather unsightly to look at.
What was the
Was that
poetry that
Gustav?
we read? Was it
Yeah, that was Gustav.
particularly sad?
Yeah, the poem reminded him of Elsa.
He probably
Guys,
read it to
I
guys.
wish
Elsa.
we had a goddamn bard.
Elsa read him poetry, and he was
Well,
the only friend of Elsa, or Elsa was his only friend, and then she died. Yeah. This is
Yep.
what
Yeah.
happens when Ryan knows something but Flea doesn't.
Mhm.
Flea has to stay quiet.
Well-
I'll walk over to the beast and I'll say, "How did you know Elsa? Can you tell us how you two became friends?"
Well, I was was hunting one day, and I meet her playing in field. Other children run away, but not Elsa. And
Maybe.
I show her my home, and she bring me books, and she read to me and try to teach me, but I'm not very good.
Hmm. I see. Is there anything? I mean, we all know the story of Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah.
This is clearly facsimile.
Some parallels.
Yeah. Is there any like defining marks on this book that might signify that it belonged to Elsa?
Or her parents, even, if she took it from them.
Yeah. Was it signed out of a library?
Is there a library card?
I don't think it has any discerning marks, really.
Well, again, I'm sure
just
that we
thinking
have
about. All right, I'm gonna I'm actually gonna ask the lawyer if he'll step out of the room with me for a second.
Sure.
Well,
Let's
while you
go
do
to my
that,
office.
Sure.
while you do that, I was going to quickly ask. Oh God, oh no, I was quickly going to just inform the beast that, if he didn't hear me before, that he'd be glad to know that the thing that caused all the suffering of that town has been dealt with.
He does seem relieved to hear that, but he doesn't say anything.
He doesn't have to.
I ask Leopold to ask the beast if there's anything that he finds funny.
What, like laughter?
Well, I want to
Or
know
like
if
strange?
yeah. Well, no, I want to know if it's possible to make the beast laugh. So I want
I mean,
you to.
you'd really
I think
just
you'd
have
be
to try,
pretty
wouldn't
hard
you?
pressed to make him laugh in
To
the
make-
current
yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
So,
Did Elsa ever
somebody
tell
to
you
perform
any
comedy.
jokes?
Like, I'll let you do perform comedy, but I'm gonna warn you that the DC is gonna be high because this dude's facing death over murdering his best friend. Like,
Yeah. It's a pretty solemn time at the moment for
yeah,
him.
he's not feeling too
Well-
hot about life and or
Well,
existence.
no. Okay. My goal here is to demonstrate what it looks like when he's laughing, and to show that it's different than what he looks like when he's crying.
Well, as long as you can demonstrate him crying, right? Then as long as you're truthful in your statement and your expertise, then you should be fine.
True.
It's a court of law,
We're gonna
right?
be
So
We're going to be in
tell
a
the
zone of truth, and every single person in that room has sense motive.
Exactly.
Boy,
Sense motive with -30 on their modifier due to
Hey, it doesn't matter.
pre-existing notions.
it doesn't matter. If you're telling the truth, sense motive immediately says you're being
Well,
truthful.
then I suppose it depends on how good your diplomacy roll is when you make your case.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, putting all that on Zoo.
Yeah, no pressure.
I'll be the peanut gallery in the back. Like, you tell him Zoo, give a +1.
Oh shit. Do clerics have? Fuck. Does the sister maiden lady have the spell? Fuck. What is the hysterical laughter spell or something like that?
Tasha's hideous laughter.
No, she doesn't. Her
There's
spell
something-
selection's actually very limited.
I don't suppose we can submit a spell to be used to demonstrate a point.
No.
Well,
Fuck.
meta, isn't he a golem?
He is a golem.
Oh, so it wouldn't affect him anyway.
Probably not.
He is
Unless
a
there's some
very
special
special.
That would've been
golem,
nice.
though. He is very special.
Well, clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
He has emotions and thoughts.
That would have been sick though. Like if we cast hideous laughter on him.
Oh God, everyone in this place would be terrified except for us because we knew what was going on. The people downstairs would just hear like from up like through the wood, and everyone would be freaking the hell out.
All right. Well, my issue now is how are we going to connect? How are we going to get the jurors. Is there a jury? Whatever you call them. How are we going to get them to understand, like, to be convinced that, like, the grimace that he makes that looks like laughter is actually
In this
Well,
case,
sadness?
I really
we-
think that order of questions is your friend.
Order of questions?
The way you ask questions of the beast. So
Yeah,
showing him the book of Talmud poetry made him cry, and that was really awkward. And then we had to ask backwards to like get to the fact that he was Elsa's friend. If you talk about Elsa first and establish
Oh no question. My issue is how, like, if we start reading the poetry and he starts laughing, what's that? That's not going to mean anything to the.
No, like basically what you do is you establish that Elsa was his only friend, and then he tells his story about losing Elsa, and then you read him the poetry and then explain that he doesn't have Chidex, and like this is his best interpretation of crying.
Right. Yeah.
Like this is what he looks like when he's sad.
Yeah.
And like we know that now. But like anyone
I
who's
see what
seeing
you're
it from an
saying.
outside view is like he's laughing at it, you know.
Yeah. I'm just trying to. I don't know. This might be okay. I think this must be sufficient for the trial on account of like meta. We don't have any other way. It seems like they're trying to like make it so like this is that door. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
Yeah.
we found the way to open this door. So I feel like I'm trying to find other
Yeah.
ways to open a door we already have unlocked.
Well,
But-
yeah. There's other stuff too, right? Like you guys found out about Karen. And Karen seems
Yeah, I
like a
just mean
special
this
case
for
of
this
some kind.
for this one specific thing. I think that like we
Yes.
already have the tools we need to convince the jury, even though I'm trying to strengthen that. Obviously.
I am
for
curious.
clarity, there is no jury. It's a
Yeah,
tribunal
it's just
of
a
judges.
judge. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I thought. I was
So
like,
we
it
have
would
to
be
just
unfair
convince
to
the
him
judges.
to be tried by a jury
By
because he
the
doesn't
mob.
have
Yeah.
peers.
You'll find that most like judicial systems at this day and age are primarily just like tribunals of judges. Peers aren't really trusted with justice. all that much.
Okay.
Almost like that's how it should be normally.
Hmm.
Shh. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, as somebody who has jury duty on Friday, I
Totally
kind of
agree
wish
with
that. Yeah. I'm like, God fucking damn it.
All the upper courts in our system are.
Do you at least get a murder trial, or you have something?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I'll find out when I get there. Seems like it's a regular. At least get a murder trial. Like I don't want a fucking murder trial.
But no.
Yeah.
But then like what if he's got friends? The camera zooms. It's just a high-profile murder
Doesn't-
case. Zooms right
It
on your
doesn't
face. It's just
matter.
like,
My stepdad is a cop, so like almost no matter the case, I'll be able to be like, "Yep, I have a bias. I get to leave." My
Yep.
stepdad's a police officer, so therefore I also am racist. Terribly racist against whatever race this was. I'm racist against them.
well, there's actually
Sir, it
a
was a
trial
white
going
guy.
on.
Yeah, I hate white men.
I fucking hate them.
I hate myself as well.
I'm 1/8 Ashkenazi Jew, so I identify as that.
Christ.
There's actually a case going on over here. Tom Golisano is suing somebody. They were looking for like non-biased jurors, and someone was like, "Am I technically biased because my daughter went to the school that his name is on?" And apparently, the judge was like, "Is your name on that place too?" He's like, "Yep," because he's like a billionaire that owns like everything in Rochester.
Yeah.
It's like the Golisano Children's Hospital, Science Center, all that crap. So it's just funny because they're just trying to find someone in Rochester who doesn't know who he is, but everybody does.
Yeah.
It's one of those hard cases. Did you hear about that at all, Smitty?
Did I what?
Did you hear about the details of that case at all?
Oh no, I just know Rochester vaguely. Like my
Okay.
family, my brother and sister-in-law live there, and they said that like a lot of Rochester is owned by like a few
Yeah.
people.
Oh yeah, Golisano is one of the big ones. But what's funny is he's suing an interior decorator who decorated his $150 million yacht. for $34,000 or some shit because of throw pillows.
Wow.
That's what? He's like worth $43 billion. $34,000 is if like I gave you $5 to get me gas and you used $4 for gas and $1 to get yourself a fucking Snickers bar. I'm not gonna ruin the friendship over $1 Snickers bar. I don't know.
Probably
fucking-
enough to. Well, I don't know. It depends on how big the company is.
It's a single individual person.
Well, it's probably enough to destroy their business,
Exactly. So like,
which is
Yeah.
probably the point. Some petty
Wow.
bullshit.
oh yeah.
Well, you can throw
It
enough
makes him
money
seem-
at it.
Kill
Well,
him.
It
Kill
just
him.
makes him seem like an asshole because he's done so much
He
for
is an
Rochester.
asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
He's a billionaire.
but-
He's an
Doesn't
asshole.
seem like an
Yeah.
asshole. He is
All right,
an asshole.
all right. We're getting off
Yeah.
in the weeds here a little bit.
Yep.
Let's bring it back in.
Back to the Frankenstein murder trial.
So you guys,
Let's murder him with
Yeah,
throw
back
pillows.
to the not ridiculous thing.
Pin him down. Ryan, you
so
you grapple him.
Havelock, why did you pull Gustav into a room by yourself?
Oh, so I'm gonna tell Gustav. Here's my plan. I think that one of the things that we want to do during this trial is, without telling the beast beforehand, I will produce this book of Talbot poetry after introducing it to the crowd and sort of setting up my point, and then hopefully without the beast present, I can explain the significance of this item to the assembled tribunal, and then we could bring the beast back, and I'll read from it and hopefully produce the same crying reaction to demonstrate to the tribunal that his act of crying appears like laughing. I'm just trying to set that up with him.
I like where you're going with this, but I think couldn't you almost accomplish the same thing by just questioning the beast in front of the judges?
No.
Wait, why not? I'm wondering
what
why
I was
The beast has every
Sure,
reason to lie.
Yeah,
Like-
if I introduce those things in the beast's presence, then they could say, "Oh, he's faking it."
Okay, so
Like-
you want to introduce your evidence and then call a witness.
Yes, so
Okay.
that the tribunal will know that this is not something we've set up beforehand. Although I suppose we could have set it up now. But
Yeah,
I
that's
want it to be the most genuine reaction.
right. There is a bit of theater here, but I like it.
Yes. Aren't all cases pretty much a bit of theater? Really?
Yeah.
Aren't we all just actors on a stage?
Oh boy,
Stop.
here we go.
Ilix
all
wakes up and says,
existential.
"Shut the fuck up."
Perfect. Okay. So it sounds like you guys pretty much have a defense figured out. Gustav is going to go along with what you have said, plus any of his own arguments that he can think of or has written down. He doesn't have any.
Yeah, he's incompetent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before you guys came along, he thought the beast was guilty too, so he was just sort of like really grasping at straws.
When we walked in, like when we got back from Hergstag, was he just sitting there staring at like a blank piece of paper? It's like, the fuck?
Goodbye, career. Good night,
Yeah.
career. Good night,
If
life.
somebody wants to give me a knowledge local, I can tell you about his career.
I don't think I want to know, but I'm morbidly curious.
That's
Well.
not super good.
Is he bad? That's all I need to know.
His stutter, unfortunately, makes him not all that confident when presenting things, and so his last several clients have been hanged.
Good. Quick, make Havelock the lawyer. Swap the lawyers out. Put
Which
him in
is
front of a
actually
microphone.
why he was chosen to be the beast's representation. Just by the way. Anyway, if you guys want to get some rest now, the trial starts in about 5 hours.
I'm gonna
Already
hang out
got
with
you, B.
Ilix, and we're gonna go sleep at the tavern, and wake up and have breakfast at like 1 in the afternoon, and
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep for a few hours, just to catch up with whatever I didn't get the other night, and then I think we need to go talk to the ladies of Hergstag and ask them about Karen.
Okay. Okay, so what time of day is this occurring?
Well, it's like 4 o'clock now, or something.
Yeah, well, you guys have probably been having all these discussions and planning your
5 a.m.
defense. It's probably like 5 a.m.
Okay, so it'd be about 8 a.m. then after I'm done sleeping, I guess. Because I only needed, what, a couple more hours?
It's 2 hours until the trial starts. Yep.
Okay, so then I'll go seek out whatever the fuck their names were.
At this point,
Tritch
well, the
and
Bogwater
Bogwater.
sisters.
Bogwater sisters.
Yep. At this point, they have already reported to the courthouse, so you can meet with them there if you'd like.
That's fine.
Okay. There is a neutral meeting room for these purposes.
Ah, excellent.
Okay. And as they are the prosecution's witnesses, you will meet the prosecution.
AKA the very, very angry mob.
Not so much.
Oh, good.
So
The very, very angry lawyer.
The prosecution sits down at the table, and he opens a notebook, and a short while later, you get
This Phoenix Wright looking motherfucker.
Garrow comes into the room.
Ah.
That jawline.
Yep.
he
Okay.
is good at his job.
Good, great
turned
cheese
on.
on that.
Yeah.
If character design tells me anything, he is
You're not
excellent at
wrong.
his job.
And probably an asshole. Oh wait, he's a
Probably
lawyer.
an
That's
asshole.
redundant.
His
Oh.
name.
Shazam!
He will introduce
The lawyer?
himself as Otto. No.
That would be a
Do I
great
know
lawyer's
his full-
name, though.
The
Autocorrect. Dude, I want that suit. I want to buy that suit.
God, you probably need fucking like some sort of fucking powder just
That's
to
what
get
your
in those
bard
pants.
needs.
It's like 10 gold or something.
He's busting. Give me that. Give me your coat.
Sophisticated clothing.
after he
I
makes
don't
some
want
more,
his clothes.
he makes some more notes, and after Garo walks in, she sort of curtsies to you both and walks to the far side of the room, and he sort of waves his pen and says, "All right, you get on with it."
I'll say, Garo, pleased to see you again. Are you feeling better? Since we saved you?
Oh shit!
Keep in mind, Ilix, me and you are past the fuck out.
I know. Tanner's saying, "Oh shit."
I'm
Just
just like laying in my
let
own
this
bed
go.
now,
Let
listening
me-
to.
No, I'm
Let
letting
me work
her
my
go.
biz.
I'm just
Please face palms in his sleep.
giggling.
Actually, I'm going to retcon this a little bit. I think he brings his witness over and then leaves because I think it's inappropriate for him to be in here while you are questioning the witness.
Seems...
Because then
He's
he
not
would.
their lawyer. He's the prosecution. He would not be
Right.
privy to the evidence that the defense
Oh, yeah,
gets.
yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Glad I know about legal stuff.
actually, he should be privy to anything that we're going to introduce during the case.
But he
no.
shouldn't be there guiding the
No,
witness.
the defense has access
Other
to
way
everything
around.
the prosecution presents,
Yes.
but the defense gets to keep all of its information private.
Correct.
Ah,
until it's presented
I
in court.
didn't know that.
I mean, in our world and
In
like
our
the
world,
Western tradition.
assuming that this is similar.
It's analogous.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyway, so
anyway.
she says, yes, that was quite the ordeal. I'm glad you were there.
Yes, so was I. I'm glad that you all were able to make it back here safely. I wanted to ask you again. I didn't get the chance when we were on the road. The girl Carrion in Hergstag. She was reported to have been killed by the beast. Isn't that correct?
Yes. So her father says.
Are you aware that we found evidence that Karen was, in fact, ill for some time with a chair pulled up to her bedside? We examined the room, and it appeared that no entry was forced. The beast couldn't have climbed through her window.
Okay, give me just a second here.
Sure. I'm like exploring this. As a DM, I have to think to myself, this is going to be a fucking deep pull from the from the like the module.
Okay, so let's see here. Well, I don't understand what you're saying. Karen was fine. She was a healthy young girl. And then one day, her father heard screams from upstairs, and when he went to go check on her, she was dead.
Did anybody examine Karen after she died? And what happened to her father?
Give me diplomacy on this one.
Mother of God. Cast guidance.
Assist?
Twist, she poisoned her. Because she's a dirty fucking gypsy.
Maybe?
Yeah. I mean, is it too late for me to ask if I can assist Zoo?
Zuzu hasn't said anything, so this is on you.
Okay. Well, she rolled.
She did roll, but I assumed that she was trying to assist you.
Okay. I'm gonna roll it. Well, it's a
Okay.
15 with my guidance.
So 17 with
Yeah.
Zuzu's happy presence.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's probably good enough. Mostly because she's sort of cornered and she's being directly asked about this.
And we did save her.
Yes, there's also
She's a
that.
fucking pikey.
So she gets really kind of nervous, and she looks down at the table, almost in like an ashamed sort of way, and she admits that Karen actually died 2 days after the beast was driven from Hergstag.
Aha!
And no marks were found upon her body.
Aha!
So then, now that we know the time period of her death, we can assume that it was the ghosts correctly, more than likely. Or some other mysterious circumstance. Yes, definitely not him.
But still,
Certain.
even if Karen didn't die to the beast, and it was some other, perhaps this fiend that you spoke of, I don't see how that. It's almost certainly still him that killed our other children.
I see, but I think that will be for the tribunal to decide. Don't.
Yes, perhaps so.
Our aim here is just to tell the truth. That's all. Don't worry, we'll get to the
Fair
bottom
enough.
of this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
I'm not gonna.
And scene.
I bit down a shitty joke. Not shitty, and as in it was not funny, but shitty as in it would have been hostile.
Yeah, let's be careful for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's probably pretty close to 9 a.m. now, and while it is pretty quiet inside the courthouse, you can definitely hear a crowd starting to gather outside.
All right. Do I have time to go shopping for clothing?
Do you need a nice suit to compete with
Yes.
the prosecution?
Yes. Are you fucking kidding me?
That,
yes,
that
I
is
do.
so fucking legitimate. Like,
Sure, man.
That is actually like, I think Flea somehow heals in his sleep as he reverse face palms at like the most competent thing Havelock has ever done.
All right.
Yeah, you
let's
probably
see, I know
have
there's
time.
a chart somewhere.
You have time to go go shopping if you want. But Gustav also probably has some garb because he's actually like Gustav has a nice wig and he's pretty well dressed as well. Just he's got a stutter and isn't confident.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. A noble's outfit is 75 gold. Is that fair?
Yeah, that seems fair.
All right. This is what I wear. I pick out.
Oh boy.
You brought this on yourself by showing us that picture.
He
just
had
saying.
to. He had to one up Otto. He had to one
Holy
up Otto.
shit.
Pomeranian.
Is the dog
I love
included?
the dog.
Of course, there would be a Pomeranian with that man.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, please.
This
Please
is
have dog.
This is the most pompous.
Oh,
Why is
yeah.
there a Pomeranian? It's so
Nobody
weird.
Because
knows.
it's a fancy dog.
A lapdog is 15 gold.
There's no pets allowed. Good lord.
Ah.
No pets on the moon.
Damn.
Yep, no pets. on
I'm
the
still
moon.
buying a lapdog.
That's fine, I guess.
I'm buying a Pomeranian.
This is Flipsy. He's my best friend now. Sorry, please.
I hope you know that like this is canon now, and like Havelock
Yeah.
is just gonna have. He's going to wear these clothes everywhere now. And he's gonna have a fucking
You're telling me
Pomeranian.
that like I didn't know like
I'm
are you
telling your
fucking
party
shitting
members
me?
that because they
Yeah.
probably don't know that Havelock is about to become a pompous aristocrat.
Yeah, totally
I
not
kind of
surprised.
thought
Yeah.
it would be anyway.
Yeah, I've been dreaming of this.
I mean,
Oh,
he is an
jeez.
inquisitor.
I am an inquisitor.
Okay.
All right.
So as time goes on, there are the court begins to let people in, and very slowly, people start showing up and standing in various positions. This guy who's standing by the judge's quarters looks very important. He's all clad in like a black plate mail, and he has a ceremonial face visor, so you actually can't see his identity at all. All the other guards are not dressed nearly as ornate as he is. And just from the knowledge local rolls that you've made previously, you know that that is the herald of the court.
I made another
Is
one just to be
that
sure.
the bailiff, basically?
So with that roll there, let me go down to members of the court. The herald of the court. He keeps his identity secret. He calls out official announcements with the striking of a great gong. He calls witnesses and keeps order. He also acts as the justice's personal protector and has a ceremonial greatsword on hand at all times.
So super formal
Nice
bailiff
choice.
of the court.
Yep. And the lady who is standing in the corner, kind of brutishly, has a emblem on her forehead that is the symbol of Phrasma, and you can surmise that she is the Holy Sister of Justice.
I need to speak with her.
She doesn't seem terribly approachable at this time, and people begin filling in the pews, and you're not entirely sure where you're supposed to sit.
Well,
I just
it
lean
seems like-
coquettishly.
of course, you're gonna start using fancy words as well.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
So,
not surprised at all.
Havelock
Fuck
didn't
it.
want to be a fucking inquisitor. He dreamed of
It
being
looks-
able to live in a city with different ideas and shit.
Yeah, Elix is already she just wakes up on the pew
Yep.
yeah, I guess we're starting this shit.
Uh,
I already took a seat. I'm just saying. On the end of this pew.
okay. Well, that's where the clerks sit, so
God damn it!
you're gonna get butted out.
Why are we here? Why is there a bikini model here? Who is that?
She's just here, man. Don't even sweat it.
Sylvanas.
Yeah. No, you can sit
Is
up there.
that-
That's fine. That's just teasing you.
I'm just saying, some of these
Okay.
people really do look like straight out of fucking Phoenix Wright.
Maybe.
I think they're great.
You would wearing that fucking clothing.
And then overhead, I'm going to reveal this section because there is a gallery that overlooks the court. I just haven't done anything with that section of the map, but I do want you to know what it looks like. There we go.
Oh, I see.
So there's more seating upstairs, and that is filled with people out for the public. And it is starting to get louder in here now as more of the crowd fills in. These people are all sort of closer to like the people who run the court. They're more important than the other people who are up in the gallery. And then of course all the peasants outside don't get to take part in the trial at all.
Naturally.
Okay. So if you guys aren't doing anything else, time ticks by, and then around 10 a.m. The judges come walking out of their chambers. And they're totally not invisible, because that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes there, and she goes there. And then the herald takes his place in the back corner there. And then a short while later, Gustav comes out and sits at his desk. And it is a very crowded room.
You don't say.
So basically, when a witness is called, I'm going to have them stand here, because I think that makes the most sense. Just between the prosecution and the defense desks and in front of the judges. I think it makes sense to stand there. And then, of course, there's this great big cage, which you sort of already saw a picture of out on the main world map. But I can pull that here as well. That is way... Yeah, there we go. Let's see if I can move this to a spot that isn't annoying. Alright, so that's sort of the scene. It's not quite right because the art is curved, and that obviously isn't the nature of this courtroom, but that kind of gives you an idea of the scene going on here.
Okay.
Okay, so let me get down to the trial. Alright, so shortly after 10 a.m., the trial begins. A trio of guards leads the beast into the court and shackles it to a large iron chair inside of this big cage. So I will move the beast out here too. Then we can all join in the token extravaganza that is this map. And there is a lot of booing and angry cries from the crowd. They are not happy to see the beast.
Yeah.
A short while later, the gong rings and there is order kind of restored to the crowd. At which point the Chief Justice, the one in the middle with the magnificent beard, stands up and he begins a speech laying out the rules of the court. Goes on for quite some time, and you doze in and out and don't necessarily pay attention to the whole thing. But the key points that you notice are that magic of any kind is forbidden, weapons are also forbidden, and that there's like various gong strikes in there that wake you up as well. But he concludes his speech by saying
that the people of Lepidstadt have suffered a great many acts of terror and barbarity at the hands of the beast for many years, and that while the beast is doubtless responsible for numerous murders, the prosecution will focus on 3 cases to prove the beast's guilt during this trial.
So, we have one person to convince already.
Yeah. And once he concludes his speech, the herald rings the gong and sort of motions over to Otto, who pushes back from his desk all pompously with one hand, and then stands up and begins making his opening statements. He will say, oh man, what's this guy's voice even sound like?
Pompous.
Yeah, I'm trying to conjure pompous right now. Your Honors, I will allege today that the beast is responsible for the murder of 7 children in the hamlet of Hergstag.
I think that's really good.
Thank you, sir.
Take note of what he's saying, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it 7?
No.
6.
Oh, I'm sorry. 6. I got that wrong.
You seem like you don't got your facts straight. It was 6.
Apparently, this guy's
Retcon.
killing the fucking
This guy's a
crowd.
joke.
Retcon, it was 6. Okay, sorry about that. I'm kind of combining things here because we did
Yeah, I
it's
got
a
you.
little out of order. And in the following 2 days, I will describe to you how 10 villagers in Morast were murdered, and then how the beast so gruesomely burned the sanctuary to the ground with its doctor and staff inside. And throughout his speech, there are cheers from the crowd anytime he makes a statement that seems inflammatory towards the beast. And he will frequently turn and sort of make big gestures at the beast like he's taunting it, but obviously the beast is chained in a cage, so he has no real reason to be afraid. He's just kind of fluffing his feathers, as it were. And then it becomes Gustav's turn to make his case for the beast's innocence. And before he even stands, the crowd is booing at him and just jeering, and they really just don't want to hear what he has to say. It's pretty clear that the crowd really just doesn't even want a trial. They just want the beast to pay for everything they think he's done. And so Gustav will sort of give a general outline of some of the things you guys talked about, but not like without revealing too much. And I'm not sure exactly what that sounds like, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, just because I don't want to create weird situations for you guys when you present your evidence. So just the exposition of it is that Barrister Gustav, it's kind of a half-hearted attempt to make the beast's case, and it's full of stutters and awkward pauses, and he's just getting booed, and there may be even a few things thrown at him, and guards have to lead people out of the courtroom. So it doesn't go well, is the synopsis.
Yeah.
So about a half hour later, around 11 a.m., once the opening statements have finished, the witnesses for the prosecution are brought out. And so, let's see, witness for the prosecution. I think he brings out the 3 sisters, and they all give pretty similar testimony to each other, so we don't need to go into each of those individually. But basically, they allege that the beast slew all 6 children, and then when caught, was driven from the village. And obviously you already know their story there. Their children were killed, and he brought Elsa's body back, and they thought he was laughing at them, and obviously he was crying.
So around 12:30, after a really long period of hearing the same story multiple times, it is now time for witnesses for the defense, and so Gustav will call on, I guess it's Eliana, to take the stand and make your case.
Xenesis.
Oh yeah, you're right, Xenesis. I apologize. I'm getting characters mixed up.
Jeez, the dwarf is still on her way here.
She'll
Dwarf
do
will
the
take
20-foot
many,
rule.
many
Oh
years
shit,
to
she
arrive.
isn't in the courtroom.
Yes, she is. Sure.
Oh, okay.
You were looking for the dwarf, weren't you?
No, there's just so many fucking tokens.
So many tokens.
There's more for me too, because there's some on the GM layer, so this is just a fucking mess of faces. But I wanted it to be, I wanted the courtroom to feel more full.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Ilyana, you take the stand up here in the center, and I need you to present the evidence that you found in Hergstag, according to however you guys agreed to present it.
Do you remember?
And for each point that you make, I need you to do a diplomacy check when you're introducing a new piece of evidence. That's. Are you requesting that?
Well, he's the cross-examiner.
Yeah, he can. He can ask questions.
Examine
of
the crosses.
He can ask questions of the prosecution's witnesses if we want to back up and do that. I guess I kind of skipped that part.
Actually, would be good because
Yeah, I think that's what most of our case relies upon. That I think.
Yeah, we need them to make sure that they kind of doubt the.
So how about this?
The
How about
Bogwaters.
this? Because the way this is supposed to work is that you guys are the witnesses for the defense, and you present your counter evidence. How about we present that evidence first, and then we cross-examine. You can call the prosecution's witness back up to ask them about your new evidence.
smart.
Okay.
So the Chief Justice will look Eliana in the face, and he'll say, "So what have you to tell us today?"
We had the.
Okay, out of character. Let us refresh Zoo's memory.
That's fine.
We have been talking a while. For token.
I'm
Okay.
gonna start mouthing at Xenesis as she's
Pretend you're swimming.
struggling up on
Well,
the.
okay. So how about we retcon and say that there was a little bit of witness prep, which totally happens, so that when she gets to the stage, she has all this memorized. And this is that witness prep that she may fudge because she's sleepy.
She is sleepy.
Okay, so you want to present that we found the corpses in the lair of a wraith.
That was discerned by you and Havelock to have changed the children into wraiths themselves by killing them. And while you're stenographing, plea, we've got the
Plea is
eyewitness.
frantically signing at her.
We now have
as she's...
we now have an eyewitness or a material witness that can prove and is claiming that Karen was killed. That should be the last. Oh no, else
That'll
is
be
the
when
last
we.
thing we're talking about.
That's when we ask the prosecutions. Well, we just need to present the evidence that we found, and then Havelock can ask questions all he wants of the beast. And
okay.
So we found the corpses of the missing children in a cave inhabited by the brothers from Wraith.
We buried them. Obviously, we found no evidence of physical damage to them. Obviously, other than them being dead, but there was no. Clearly. What was that?
We found the
Apart
kids.
from
They're
them-
fine.
apart from
Everybody's
the
just
minor issue
overreacting.
that they are all dead, long dead.
We found the evidence with Karen's house, but that's going to be the cross-examination. So really, it's basically just we found that they were instead killed by a wraith in Hergstag, known as Brother Swarm. Or, well,
Yeah.
did we know his name?
Yeah.
Or was that just a handout? Okay. And we can explain what that is.
We also want to introduce the fact that that the beast was not, in fact, laughing.
Yes, that would be when
as-
you ask
yeah.
questions.
Be when
Right.
I ask questions? Why would that be cross-examination?
Well, so like, Zoo is like a witness that's on the stand right now, presenting the evidence that we found in Hergstag. I was assuming that you would be, in the sense, like asking questions of other witnesses. So
Yeah.
you would be asking questions of the beast, which would establish that Elsa was his best friend and that he's really just crying, and like he can't really cry. So what he looks like when he's crying is that horrible, hideous face. And then
Okay.
you'd also
I mean,
ask.
that almost everything that we've found could basically be shoehorned, or like could basically be described as cross-examination, because our entire case relies upon debunking.
Yes. Us presenting the Brother Wraith evidence, though, has to be presented by us as one of the witnesses. Everything
Yeah.
else would be you asking questions of someone.
Okay.
So this is all that Zoo has to say while she's on the stand.
Don't call anybody a cunt.
Yeah.
Wraith.
Hold on. Oh yeah. You found that they were wraith. Like you fought their wraith forms as well, so you know that the children became wraith because you fought one. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Give me diplomacy for that first bit of evidence.
Can I cheer an encouraging yeah from the crowd as a +1 diplomacy?
Sounds reasonable. Sounds very convincing.
God damn it.
Ooh. Let me see.
Well, you have a +8. It really just comes down to like if I rolled what you rolled, I would have only had an 8. So I mean, it all comes down to chance at this point, which
You rolled a 2. What are you gonna do?
yeah.
I am trying to find the DCs that you have to meet.
Oh boy.
Because I have bonuses that you have for each point that you can make, but I need to know.
Did I lose everybody?
No,
Nope.
I'm
Okay.
just digging.
Everybody's
Sorry.
okay. Gotcha. I had to step out of the room because I smelled gas. My roommate's just cooking, so I just wanted to, make sure the house wasn't going to blow up.
Always
You never know.
important.
Yep.
Okay, it must just be standard diplomacy DCs. So, let me whip out my handy dandy cheat sheet.
Does the handy dandy cheat sheet let us cheat?
It sure doesn't.
Hmm.
But I think that the judges are probably considered friendly towards you. I don't think they are.
Yeah, we've never
either
pissed them
friendly
off.
or indifferent.
They should be indifferent, I would think,
One is friendly.
Yeah,
to make this a game.
I think
We've
it's
got one friendly
probably. I think it's probably indifferent since they are judges. It's probably and they're biased against you. So. Okay. So yeah, the 10, even if it was a 12, isn't going to do it. So your argument, while received, is not convincing enough, and you notice that the judges don't really seem to be all that swayed by that piece of evidence, at least not by itself.
That was just the
Okay.
first part, or all of
Correct.
that?
That's just the first piece. The finding the bodies and recovering them, and the cause of death, all that rolled into one.
That's kind of everything. Yeah.
It's not everything. There was
There's several
more.
other points.
About him not being able to get into the house and such.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that Carrion died afterwards, and that
Yeah.
Elsa was his best friend.
But I feel that's going to come with cross-examination.
Yep, that's all we really found that we would present. That we wouldn't like bring up as a question to another witness.
Yeah. I mean, you can't blame yourself for one roll. What are you gonna do when you rolled 2? I mean,
And it always seems to happen when it's actually important.
yeah.
Okay, so you're not presenting anything else?
What else do we have? I mean,
So
The book?
she's not presenting anything else. The next step would be either asking the beast about Elsa or asking the gypsy lady. What's her name?
We're going to have to ask the gypsy lady. We want to do the presentation of the beast last.
Okay. Is that all you have to say, my dear? Oh, all right then.
Unfortunately, that's what happens when everyone kind of hates the person that's being prosecuted.
Gustav,
Openly.
do you have anything else you would like to present? And Gustav will stand and he will stammer out. The defense calls Garo Bogwater to the stand, and he looks at Havelock with like a smile, like, yeah, we nailed it.
Just imagining this guy smiling. Just
You drove the nail and painted the board around it.
Oh, all right. Harold, let's allow
Harold.
for some cross-examination here. And the herald will ring the gong, and he will call for Garo Bogwater to be brought forward.
Harold.
And so she will be escorted by a guard to stand before the beast and the judges. And she's not super happy about being in this close proximity again to the beast, but she stands there anyway. She's ready to be asked questions by Havelock, I assume.
I step up from the bench with a flourish.
Oh, God.
and walk
Your Honor!
slowly around the table and give a
Wow,
withering look.
That was some fast Photoshop.
Give a withering look to the prosecution as I pass, and I say, and I turn to look at the court, and I say to Boro. Is her name Boro? What is
Garo.
it? Garo. God. And I said, Miss Garo, I believe we met earlier on the road to Hergstag. Is that correct?
The road from Hergstag, yes.
The road to and from Hergstag. The one road. It goes both ways.
Yes, I suppose it does.
See, she's an imbecile. She can't testify.
Your Honor, my case. I rest my case. No, I step forward and I say, in your testimony earlier, you submitted that the beast was known to have murdered the 6 children in Hergstag. Is that not correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And yet, when we spoke earlier, did you or did you not admit that the child Carrion, who is commonly used to blame the beast for her death, in fact died 2 days after the beast was supposedly driven out of the town? Is that not correct?
There is a long silence from her that is also filled with the crowd kind of booing and cheering at you. And she sort of sheepishly, amongst all of the ruckus that's going on, says yes. And that makes it get even louder for those people that were able to hear her. And eventually, the Chief Justice has to stand up, and he motions over to the Herald, who then bangs a gong. And the Chief Justice says, "Silence! Order! Order! Answer the question so that all can hear." And she sort of sheepishly leans forward and says, "Yes, that's correct."
I'll kind of I guess I can't really like gesture the crowd or like talk to the crowd.
Otto
Like that's not. Well, yeah, but he's the prosecution. He's not the cross examiner. I'll fuck. What was the point?
Well,
oh, okay.
Her circumstances of her death in the building.
Yeah. I believe it's hard to like order it because we didn't actually hear her testimony, so I can't like go through and challenge her points by points. But like,
well, she did talk to you. She did give you her story earlier. You can just assume that her testimony was the same.
I'm just trying to remember it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
As I'm going.
Father heard a scream from upstairs. Went up. She was dead in her bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the tribunal, I would like to submit to you that, in fact, my companions and I ventured to Hergstag only yesterday, and in spite of the fact that we were not expecting...
Assailed.
Yes, in spite of the fact that we were assailed by a host of wraiths, we were able to discover an untouched home of the girl Carrion. This home seemed relatively undisturbed. We also noted that there was no signs of a breaking and entering, no window large enough that the beast could have crept inside without causing an incredible ruckus. And we also noticed that the child's bedroom appeared to be that of a sick person. None of the furniture was disturbed. It seemed that no crime of violence took place there. That's not exactly a cross-examination of her, but then I'll also say, further, Miss Gora, I believe, you also suggested that my client, Bartemius, and I'll gesture.
Yes!
Gesture to
That's
Bartemius.
amazing. That's awesome.
Bartemius was observed returning the body of the young girl Elsa to the village of Hergstag. Is that not correct?
Yes, and he taunted us with it. He laughed at
So
her
you
suffering.
So you say he taunted you with it. Well,
I need, before you go further, I need a diplomacy check for the points about Karen.
okay. Well,
You got
I cast. Who's the Sister of Mercy or whatever? Sister of Justice. Sister of Justice, would you please kindly cast both Zone of Truth and Guidance on me?
She will look at you and she will
look at the judge, and she'll say, I do not believe that the situation warrants the use of magic.
All right, I made my diplomacy check.
Okay.
Well, my roll.
Carrion being dead 2 days after the beast gets a pretty substantial bonus because that makes a lot of sense.
When he presents the case of him actually crying, I can be used as a material witness to say, I examined his eyes.
All right.
After that.
This isn't exactly part of cross-examination, but can I your dear tribunal, I would like to call Bartemius, aka the Beast, to the stand.
They just dragged the cage.
Okay. Then the Chief Justice will release Garo, and she will leave. And then the Beast will sort of stand up as best he can inside his cage, and he is prepared to answer your questions.
Bartemius, hello, my friend. When we spoke earlier, I questioned you about your relationship with the young girl Elsa from the village of Hergstag. Do you remember?
He chokes up like he's trying to say yes, and then he makes a very familiar grimace as he begins to try to cry.
That's not what I was going for at all.
Yeah, I know. But you brought up her name, so.
You could say don't cry.
Shit.
You might just have to roll with it.
Bartemius, calm yourself. Calm yourself.
He definitely isn't calming down, but I suppose you could use this opportunity.
Bartemius, could you explain to the jury your relationship with the young girl Elsa?
Or how he's feeling.
Okay, give me diplomacy on that one, because this will kind of determine how that goes.
Well.
Okay, well.
I mean, we've helped him, so.
That's
yeah.
That one also has a pretty decent bonus to it, though, because you're demonstrating the beast crying and also his story. So let me write this down right quick.
Well, to people in this thing, they probably think he's laughing. We haven't had time to explain that.
Yeah, I kind of did it out of the order.
Nope.
Think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't think it'll actually matter.
Do you want to point out that he's crying, or do you want to just move on and try to have him tell his story?
Oh, definitely point out that he's crying.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I'll point out that he's crying.
But he never answered the question.
How do you present that?
Well, he did ask him. Like you stopped him to have him roll diplomacy there, but you didn't have the beast answer the question.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And I feel like that's super important for the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the
fair.
point I was trying to make.
That's fine. So the beast will try to choke out an answer, and he will say, "Elsa, friendly girl, good to Bart. Elsa, friend. Elsa, my friend."
How does it make you feel, Bart, knowing that your friend died?
Oh God. He gets very upset, and he doesn't even have words. He just collapses onto his knees, and his chains are all taut, and the manacle around his neck is actually choking him a little, as he's just almost his full weight is just limp. And he's making almost like a gasping sound, that sounds sort of like sobbing, but not quite.
So kind of on the meta here. My guy, fucking Leopold, kind of resonates with the whole lost someone very important thing.
Yep.
I'm right there. Can I like reach in and place a hand on him to see if I can calm him down?
No.
They probably won't let me.
Yeah, it's sort of isolated away from everybody.
Yeah.
I get that. I'll say, ladies and gentlemen of the tribunal, I would submit that this, in fact, is a creature in grave distress and pain. You have all heard him describe the young girl as his friend and someone whose friendship he cherished. In fact, this book of Taldan poetry is evidence that he kept a keepsake from the girl who first showed him kindness in this world.
I guess he can't really have the words right now. Maybe just mention that she read to him and
Yes.
they tried to teach him how to read.
Yeah, she attempted to teach him to read from this book, and when I showed it to him yesterday, or earlier this morning, he was racked with the same grief that you see on his face now. Grief that may appear to look similar to that of laughter to the uninitiated or the imbecilic.
Backhand, just to fucking slip that in there.
Yeah. But is in fact an expression of deepest regret and loss. I would now like to call a material witness, Leopold von Costi. Whatever his name is. Yes, Clement.
I stand up and go to the front.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can call witnesses, but hey.
I mean, I feel like that's actually what we want Havelock doing, is calling witnesses and asking them questions.
Because
like,
this other guy is bad.
Yes, exactly.
Before you do that, though, Otto is actually going to interrupt, and he's going to say, Your Honors, I would question the truthfulness of the beast's testimony. I would like to request a zone of truth be cast upon the beast, that he may be asked the same questions again.
I second that request. In fact, I demand it.
Otto shoots you sort of an angry glare, and the
I stand right next to Otto and adopt I'm basically
just start
totally
copying
pantomiming every move he makes. I'm like looking at it out of the corner of my eye.
Okay, and the Holy Sister will step forward and she'll say a quick prayer to Pharasma, and a golden circle will appear around the beast's cage. The beast will roll. Actually, he might just accept it. Yeah, I think he's just going to accept it.
He's telling the truth, so.
Yeah, he accepts it, and you ask him the same questions, and the same thing happens, and Otto appears visibly frustrated with this result. And also, the crowd is quite silent now, but you can tell that they're not happy about the way this is going.
Yeah.
You can call Leopold up.
I do that.
I come up to the front.
I sent my new token, by the way. Darp.
Your Honor!
I still have a crossbow bolt in my teeth.
Why not?
Oh my god.
Dude, for a quick Photoshop, that was really good.
Yeah,
that was real good.
That's pretty solid, I have to admit.
I hope you don't mind. I saved that for one of my games when I make one.
No problem,
he
man.
Looks, he does look a bit like a pompous bard.
I saved it on my iPad.
Yeah.
To masturbate too.
Oh, oh my.
Oh
okay.
my.
I have saved that, and I will update it later.
Nice.
I might end up giving you a multi-sided token so you can change back and forth.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you could do that.
Pompous and unpompous. Well, kind of pompous.
That's how I set up my druid so that I could have all my forms.
Field pompous, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Field
pompous.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Did you want to? You already introduced me, so I'll just kind of walk up and be like,
Yeah.
people of the court and ladies and gentlemen of the tribunal, I'd like to point out that while the beast is experiencing sadness, you can see it. We all know what it looks like, but there's obviously something you are missing. He isn't crying, in the sense that whenever we cry, we obviously have tears. Earlier, when we were examining him and presenting evidence for the defense, he, as Havelock said before, reached this state of grief. We noticed then he also didn't cry. Upon closer examination, and if the justice wants to, whatever her name is, the Sister of Justice, was it? If the Sister of Justice wishes to discern this as a lie or not, when I examined him, I noticed he did not have tear ducts, which are what allow us to cry. So the telltale giveaway of someone feeling that grief cannot be shown on his face, but it can be heard and felt, really, because he's probably still.
And bombshells. Nice.
Your Honor, would like to underscore this point and call one final witness. What's the name of the prosecution?
Otto.
Otto.
Oh my god.
I would like to call Otto to the stand.
He will stand up and he will object to that.
Donovan.
And the judges will agree with him that it is not appropriate to call the prosecution as a witness.
Why?
Uh,
All right.
Because
Character witness.
Otto
unless
gets
you
everything he
have
wants.
you need a legitimate reason to call him up there.
Your Honors, I assure you, this is to reinforce the point my previous witness was attempting to make about the tear ducts in my client's eyes.
Nope. The judges aren't going to allow it. Sorry.
Well, I'm sure the Sister of Justice realized that I wasn't lying about that, so.
No. The judges have very good
Also,
sensibilities as well. So.
Well, I wanted to do something fun. But
I know you
I
did.
What,
can't
get him close to the beast and be like, look at it!
I call Leopold back onto the stand.
Yeah, I need a good reason. Sorry. Yep.
Okay. As you're underscoring that point, Leopold, I reach into my half cloak, my majestic half cloak, and I produce an onion. And I
Just about fucking sprayed water all over my computer, you asshole.
I asked the sister. I asked the herald if he will cut the onion in half.
Oh, right, he has the weapon.
Oh Jesus.
We don't have weapons.
I don't have a weapon.
Dice this onion!
Jesus Christ. You can probably. The herald will walk over and hand you a dagger. How about that?
I plunge it into Otto.
He will, and he will stand there with his greatsword in hand while you cut this onion.
I cut the onion in half.
Cut the onion.
And as my eyes start to water, I hold the onion under Leopold's eyes.
Do you fucking dick? Holy shit! You wanted to do that to Otto? You asshole!
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he was gonna do it to Otto.
He takes the dagger back and walks back to the corner. And you can see Judge Darmid is kind of got a bit of a smirk on her face as she sees what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. So I hold the onion under. Leopold's nose first.
Yep. And I eventually start tearing up because that shit will get to you. There's not gum in this particular instance.
I just hold my arms out to the crowd, and then I lean through the cage and I hold the onion under Bartemius' nose. And I assume he does not begin to tear up.
He sort of makes like a almost like a sour face as he reacts to the pungent smell, but he doesn't tear up, obviously.
Yeah, I pull the onion back through and I say, "My dear tribunal, I rest my case." And then I call Leopold off the stage. I think that's it, right? We don't have anything else.
Not particularly.
We don't currently
But
have
I'm-
any other evidence.
Yeah, obviously
Yeah, I
we're
think
going to
that's-
go find more.
The defense rests, your honors.
No.
Not
The
rest,
defense
yeah.
is
Calls
not
for a
resting. The defense.
You could ask for
Habeas
recess
corpus.
for more time to investigate. 1 day of investigation at
An extension?
Well,
Yes.
with 1 day of investigation at Hergstag, we were able to find all of this evidence. Perhaps with
Give us another
further
day.
time.
I thought it's gonna
Yeah.
be more than 1 day anyway.
Yeah, but
So the
maybe
way
we
it's
could
laid out right now,
vie for some more
if
time.
if the court does not provide extended recess, tomorrow the crimes of Morass will be presented. Which is what
Oh, okay.
like
So-
that's what I was told.
While you are making that request, you notice that the crowd is getting increasingly upset. And if you give me a sense motive, I can give you more information on that. But you get kind of an uneasy feeling about how violent they are seeming. Except for
I'm
Plea,
tired.
who just thinks that it's a party here.
No, I'm still sleeping. I fell
Um,
asleep.
Havelock, you kind of get the sense that the crowd is not happy with how events played out today, and many of them are shooting you angry looks, and you get
scrutinous gaze them right
you
back.
get the sense that the crowd, you should probably stay away from them for a while. Because you get the sense that they might get violent with anyone who's defending the beast.
I turn to look at them
Shit!
and attempt to cry.
Nice.
I attempt to make a single tear roll down my eyelash the Mohican style.
So you do request a recess, and the judges will lean towards each other and sort of whisper back and forth, and the Chief Justice will stand, and he will emphasize the need for punctuality and getting done with these proceedings, in particular because the crowds are awaiting justice, as are all of the victims of the beast's crimes. So he is going to deny your request for a longer recess at this time. And the way the crowds are, you're not sure you blame him, because it seems like if this drug out too long, the crowd might get violent and just sort of take justice into their own hands.
I'd like to see them try.
So
I would not.
yeah.
I like my odds against a room full of commoners. I don't like my odds against a literal
town
city. Like
Yeah.
a
We've got
literal
guards
city.
and we've
This
got
is
a
a
choke
city.
point. Bring
This
them
is
on.
a city of 10,000 people, and people have come from all across the country to see this trial. This
Mhm.
is
The freak
like
show will save us.
30,000 people maybe that you would have to fight against. No, thank you.
Yeah,
Bring
it's
it on.
definitely a bit of a broiling.
Several
Spot.
hundred at least.
I think
Yeah,
the
I'm not
5
into
of
that.
us, adequately armed,
If we could get a choke point,
could slay.
There's literally the staircase up. It's the one. It's the
Yeah,
one.
I don't. Ilix knows something's up. She doesn't know what the motive is, but she already plotted her exit from this place.
I bet,
Out
yeah.
the window.
So, at around 2 p.m., when all the arguments have finished and all the questioning has finished, the Chief Justice brings the first day of trial to a conclusion. And as the beast is led away, there is loud boos and jeers from the crowd. And right now, the abuse is merely vocal, but you get the sense that it could escalate. So I'm going to clear out the courtroom. Okay, I think that's all of them. It's hard to tell. Oh, beast. Ha, duh. Okay, you guys are now alone in the courtroom. You can go talk to Gustav in his office if you'd like. He seems quite happy when he leaves the floor.
I want
Yeah,
to
I
talk
guess
to the
so.
Sister of Justice. No, she's gone.
I'm
Damn
gonna
it!
talk to the Herald, man. Let me get that great sword, dog. That's fucking dope.
Oh, let me
Ceremony.
actually show you his. It's pretty nice.
I don't think you can use his greatsword. I'm pretty sure you can only
Yeah.
use yours.
I definitely can't use any others but
Shall
mine.
we compare swords?
But
I'll
still,
show you what he looks like.
it could be
There
a
you
great
go.
dagger.
Damn,
And I can use daggers.
that's a fancy fucking sword.
Yep,
That's a
it's
dope sword.
Fancy fucking armor too.
So this guy looks like 10th level at least or something. Like
He's
this guy
extremely
looks.
decorated.
Yeah. Yeah.
He actually needs to be standing over here by the judge's chambers. That's his job.
Is it possible to catch the Sister of Justice before she leaves?
You can. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, thank goodness. Because we are in a bad way. Well, in a somewhat bad way. But it's best we don't continue until we at least get our contracts back before we start doing these forced marches again.
We may not have to do force marches again. Just saying.
Maybe.
Why's that?
I got plans. I can't talk during a trial, but I can plan.
That's right. So what are you saying to the sister?
Well, I was gonna say, pardon me, ma'am, or whatever her particular title is.
How very rustic of you.
Yeah, ma'am. I was wondering, do you by any chance have the power to help myself and my Inquisitor friend here? See, when we were in Hergstag, the wraiths that assaulted us seemed to have affected us in some way. They drained us, I believe our cleric said, but it was outside of her power to help.
I've heard of this affliction before, but I'm afraid that it is outside of my abilities as well.
Do you know anyone that we could go to that might be able to help us?
I've heard rumors of powerful clerics, but I'm not sure that they would be in Lepidstadt.
All right.
I'm sorry,
do you know
my
of
dear.
any? Do you have? No, it's fine. But do you know of any magic shops that might have something that can help?
I'm afraid that my duties do not allow me much time to shop or explore.
Well, and we don't got time, so we're going.
She nods at you. And Meta, you know that the Holy Sister, while she is regarded as a powerful cleric, is only a level 3 cleric.
Zoo's better than her,
Jeez.
and she's got a high-paying job. Zoo, how does that make you feel? You're more qualified.
She's an adventurer. She makes way more money than the fucking sister.
Yeah.
Because she's an NPC and I make the rules.
Oh, there you go.
Rule 0.
Okay. So it is around 2-ish, you said?
Yep. It's a little after 2 p.m.
Okay. So, important things that need to happen. 1, everyone who hasn't slept the whole night has to sleep a full night. 2,
I think you guys all got full night's sleep from sleeping in the wagon because you had everybody who was going to sleep during the trial stay awake during the wagon ride, so.
Okay. Cool. Well, in that case, let's go find a stable master.
Yeah, we should have horses.
Ba-ding!
Killed by Swan.
Well,
5
yeah,
feet.
so here's, can you pull up that other map? The Environs map?
You
Derpy?
have a handout.
A light horse is 75 gold.
Well, here's the thing. So, I asked Darp to decide how this would work
Yep,
before we got to this point.
you're correct.
But renting horses. What was your decision?
I think you basically have to buy it, and when you come back, you might get a refund if the horse isn't completely fucked.
So what you're saying is the moment we drive off the lot, it loses all of its value. Might as well just get
I mean, a
two
level
horses in
3
a cart.
cleric is not like... That's not like an inconsiderably powerful person in this world.
Certainly not. She's more powerful than your average Joe.
By a good margin.
Yep. And I also tell you that the Herald is about as high level as you thought he was.
Yeah, I figured.
I have the feeling the beast.
So
can
he's
keep him
like
around
the
for his money
major
now.
domo of the town. He could probably take out like a good 1,000 of them.
Yep.
Could take quite a
He's
few.
lawful neutral. Put him in that choke point and watch him kill them all.
I'm gonna start baiting the townsfolk until
Yep.
they invade the courthouse. Like, that's how we get out
You
of this.
bait them. You bait every last one of them.
I'm gonna throw my tomato rang at
Me
him.
and Ilix will stealth out of the town. Like,
Yes.
fuck everything
I
up.
forgot about the tomato ring.
Hey, I
Me
feel
and
like
Ilix
I
will
know
live in the
shit.
woods.
Motherfuckers
I'll
was up
garden
to
for
no
the
good.
rest of my life. Ilix will hunt undead. We'll be fine.
I'll go live in the forest alone. Fuck this shit.
Take Poopsie. Poopsie is my
Oh yeah, the
laptop.
Chihuahua. Can we leave Poopsie with? Can we leave Poopsie with Gustav so that it doesn't get killed in the swamp by horrible nightmares?
I'm taking Poopsie with us.
We're not taking Poopsie with us.
Did the dog come with the outfit? Is
No, I
it
bought it extra.
complimentary? Oh, okay. It was an upgrade.
I bought it to match the outfit.
Just a poofy.
Great.
So,
Okay.
buying
Does Poopsie have
horses.
stats?
I mean, it's
Poopsie
just
is
a
a Pomeranian.
lapdog.
Okay. We'll have to keep that in mind.
These tiny
Not
dogs
sure
are
to do
commonly
a
kept
swamp.
as pets. They cannot be combat trained, but can serve as noisy but skittish watch creatures. Lapdogs have the same statistics as foxes.
That's awesome.
Oh no, Poopsie's gonna die. Dude,
Poopsie.
you're gonna walk 3 feet into the swamp and then a crocodile
Four?
will just snag Poopsie. Yeah. They'll be like,
Poopsie's gonna be
Will
fine.
become
Let's just say Ilix might have to make some handle animal checks to keep your dog from running away.
Give him to Gustav.
Here,
Give him.
doggy.
Y'all don't know shit. Poopsie is
Can you
invulnerable.
roll anything but a 5? There we go.
No,
Okay.
she likes me now.
So you guys find a stable master, and he has some horses for sale. Anyway,
I arrange a price with him and see if, I mean, we would pay for the horses, but upon their safe return, would try to determine how much money he would give us.
it's difficult for me to say. It depends on how hard you are on them.
Assuming they return in similar condition to how we leave, would you agree to like maybe 5 gold for a day?
I think I could agree to that.
It'd be a quick payday for you, sir. You'd lose a few horses for a few days and get them back in excellent condition.
Well, he's
And pocket
not
yourself
losing
this
anything
extra
because
coin.
you're paying full price and you're getting
Yeah.
a
Well,
refund.
what I'm saying is
minus-
worst case scenario. What I'm saying is it's a great deal because he's gonna get the horses back for a discount in a couple
Yeah.
days.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, assuming we keep them all safe. But
Yeah, exactly.
everybody keep in mind that you have to pay 75 gold to buy the horse, and if your horse dies, then you lose that money.
Yeah.
I'll pay 75 gold for a good horse. Actually,
And while you guys are journeying around town, you get a lot of nasty looks as people begin to recognize you, and you see people whispering just nasty things about you because you've been defending the beast. It seems that the stable master hasn't quite
Nobody notices me.
heard these things yet, so he just treats you as he would any stranger.
I might actually want to give him the fucking stink eye too. These motherfuckers. They just want to see a man burn. or a Bart.
I would prefer to try to go around town noticing all these stairs. I would suggest that like when we return, perhaps we disguise ourselves.
I'd like to see him try.
Yeah.
And then I guess we should head to Morask on horses.
Okay.
It's probably a good idea.
I think this is as good of a place as any to wrap up the game for the night.
Mhm.
Then we can depart for Morast next time. Is there any shopping you guys want to do before you leave town? Because we can get that out of the way now. If not, then we can call it here.
I don't think we have any extra
Until I get more money, I can't really
gold,
buy
yeah.
anything.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you could buy a fancy suit and a lapdog.
Yeah,
We're all
except for I'm
just
a monk
riding
of
with our-
Pharasma, so I wear black robes all the
I
time.
buy like a. Is there such a thing as like a dog purse but for battle?
I'm
The
sure you
fact
could,
that
I'm sure you could have
a
something
papoose.
made.
Buy
like
a fucking
papoose.
papoose for your dog.
Yeah,
an armored
papoose.
papoose.
Okay.
Oh, but then you'd drop it in the swamp and it would die like fucking Artax.
You're an awful person.
I mean, you're the one bringing the dog into a dangerous situation.
Okay, let me
It's
tally
not-
up experience
it's-
here.
Yeah.
I don't look at a house fire and go, man, my cat would love it in there.
Is anything? We're not in a house fire for starters.
We kind of are.
Second,
It's like
in
a
any
citywide
major
house fire.
movie, does the cute poopsie dog die? No.
Yeah,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. Have
Yeah.
You,
No.
Have you seen Secret Window?
Where the Redford grows,
It's
Old
like the
Yeller.
first fucking thing that happens.
Marley and me.
How much is
On
it?
a more
How difficult
recent
is it to
note,
resurrect a
Stranger
lapdog?
Things.
You're better off
Give you some
buying another
pictures of some
lapdog.
fucking dead dogs.
I hope
They're
it.
pretty
I
cheap.
hope you try
I'll
to.
go out. I'll go out in the country. I'll find one on the road.
You should try to
authentic.
reincarnate your dog so that it gets a random body when it returns.
Reincarnate yourself as a dog.
Dude, you can buy a guard dog for 25 gold.
Yeah, but you have to be able to handle having a guard dog. You can't just boss it around.
So like the way that
Dominate
Pets.
dog.
Done.
Jesus.
Oh,
There we
there
go.
it is.
Dog dominated.
That is the first 20 of the night. The entire
So
night. Oh, no, there was
everybody
a bit.
gets
Also, by the way-
1,800
crit.
experience.
200.
1800.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Damn!
Yeah, it's like 200. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I mean,
It's
200. Yeah, you guys
for
did
the next
really shitty.
Jesus.
That's pretty bad.
1800, dude.
Or
Didn't
we
we have
have-
1500 before?
Yeah. Or we have
Yeah.
9 party members. We got 4 extra party members we gotta find.
Anyway, 15,000. That makes a lot more sense.
Yes. We just passed 15,000 and are on our way to 23,000.
Man, court cases get you a lot of experience.
Well,
So
you,
it's
you
1721.
guys got 1,200 experience for each point that you were successful at making. So yeah.
A lot.
And just as a heads up, it is now the first day of Kuthona, which is the equivalent of December. So you're getting into the winter months.
So we have 17,021 experience, I believe.
6,000 more and we're level 6.
17,021. I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of house fires a little bit earlier, at my job about a week or two ago, I'm sitting in the room, which is a sealed room with no air circulation, and we use air conditioners to keep the room cool because of all the electronics. I'm sitting there and I start smelling the mysterious electronic smoke of death. I'm like, where's that coming from? And I stand up and go over and look up into the air conditioner just as it bursts into flames.
Shit.
And we had
It's
to
not good.
evacuate the building. And instead of replacing it, they're trying to fix it and turn it back on again. Because it's cheaper to just risk burning the whole building down than just getting a new
That's
one.
what insurance is for, right?
No. No one would insure that building. It's a fireman's nightmare.
Oh. How does it work?
You set a max for the bar.
Wait, is Whitney controlling minimap?
No,
Oh.
I just happened to be on that screen when I typed.
So Whitney doesn't even have